We are here. We are celebrating 1 year. We are here. It is the comic round hall table and discussion. Antonio Coleman, Al Rainey, Larry, Xavier, Vince, all joining tonight. We're gonna have a big house tonight because this is a celebration. It's a party. Well, look here. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started out of the gate, and we'll get everybody else's reaction when they come in. Spider-Man: Homecoming a couple of weeks ago. For those who follow the channel, saw that me and Antonio did a little small snippet there after the movie. And if you saw it, you clearly saw we thought Spider-Man: Homecoming was the best Spider-Man. And it's very hard for me to say this. I put it past the Dr. Octopus Spider-Man, and I put it there because it hit on all aspects of what Spider-Man is supposed to be. We actually saw him as a teenage hero, something that had not been done in previous movies. And they also found a balance to have not have Iron Man overshadow Spider-Man, which was one of the key issues that a lot of people had. They was wondering if he was going to overshadow, which he did not. It all blended well. Um, I can't say enough good things about it. It was hilarious. It was a funny movie. I mean, it was absolutely hilarious. And for those who have not seen it, shame on you. Still in the theater. But for those who have, you know what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and put this on the table before we get deep down into everything tonight. Antonio, your thoughts on Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Well, I'm gonna say. Let me say this. That character, Tom Holland played that Peter Parker Spider-Man role to a T. As far as ranking in Spider-Man, I still say the Doc Ock Spider-Man is probably gonna be the better one of the two, in my opinion. But as far as the character himself, he actually played the character himself better than just by than any of the other ones. Tobey Maguire or the
Yeah.
other guy, he's done a better job of it. Uh, I can see where some people had some gripes about it, but I still love the movie. The only thing that everybody noticed in this was the he didn't have his spider senses in it. But from what I understand, that's going to come later on there for it. So I hope they explain how that comes along on there for it. And then the whole just in general, I mean, the movie itself had a good pace. It had a really good villain. Cause kudos to Michael Keaton with playing Vulture.
Yeah.
I mean, that was something that I didn't really think was gonna go over well, and he just took that role and he took it and ran with it, just like he always does with anything like that. So overall, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I really thought they even, I mean, for the spoilers at the end, they kind of led off into something bigger. So we're gonna see what they're gonna do in the future.
I actually was looking for a Batman reference in there somewhere from Michael Keaton during the movie, but never got it. And I think Michael Keaton, man, really, it's funny, man, with these Marvel movies that they read. It's like, well, we know Michael Keaton is already a good actor, but it's just like it takes their career up another notch,
Yep.
because Michael hadn't really been doing a whole lot the last few years, but to see him doing, Spider-Man in that villain role, I mean, it's kind of like when you watch when John Claude Van Damme was in uh, Expendables, man. I mean, that's what made the movie. I mean, it's because you got a guy who plays a good hell of a villain,
Yep.
and Michael Keaton played one hell of a villain in this. And especially the car scene. I mean, me and TC sat there and I mean, the whole car scene was just absolutely hilarious. You know, I mean, it was just a really, really good movie, man. It's a really good movie. Al, your thoughts? Spider-Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on our 1 year anniversary celebration. We appreciate you being here with us. Um, I thought that the movie was great, and my sentiments pretty much echo you all's. Okay, when I got home, I did a review, and it was a short review, and essentially, I basically I basically stated the same thing, that the Spider-Man movie was on par with Spider-Man 2. I felt like it was basically one of those things where Marvel crafted the movie very well. Like um, Iron Man, Tony Stark's Robert Downey Jr. did not overshadow Tom Holland in his role as Spider-Man Peter Parker. I think they did an excellent job of balancing out the cast. They did a little plot development, not plot, well, character development with the Zendaya, whatever however you pronounce her name, her character, Flash Thompson, and then Spider Man's buddy. I can't remember his name, but I think they did a very good job of pacing, balancing. A lot of people's complaints were about his spider sense, but I had read an article where they said that he had his spider sense, which was the purpose, the reason why he wore goggles, was because the goggles allowed him to focus more on what he was doing, and his spider sense kind of like affected his sight or something along those lines. But overall, man, I gave the movie a really high grade. Um, they trolled the heck out of some folks at the end. They really trolled me because I was expecting to see something in reference to the Infinity War, but boy, was I wrong. But overall, man, I think it was a really good movie. Now, I did read that it kind of dropped as far as the revenue, which I thought was to be expected because, you know, you're looking at Spider-Man, even though it was partnered up with Marvel. We've already had 5 Spider-Man movies before that. So I kind of expected it to actually drop. But at the end of the day, it was a really good movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's. I think Spider Man was a good bridge movie to kind of get you set up for everything. Now I really love how it ended. Yeah, I really didn't see that coming, but the ending was really good. So let's talk, man. It's been 1 year, fellas, and you know we've been doing the show here, and we all kind of got back in the. Well, me and TC got in the back in the collective pretty heavy last year, and you know now a year later, I was talking with a fella a couple of weeks ago with Al, David, correct? Uh,
Hmm.
and we were talking about David was talking to me and Al about getting back in the collective, and we were telling him, what if we were to get back, if we were to give advice to someone that's saying, well, we want to get back in the comic collective, well, what should we do? I would tell you now, there's just certain books that just absolutely out of range. Case in point, Spider-Man 300. I mean, that's a $400 book now. Last year, you could have got the book, maybe $125, $115, and the what's going to happen with that book is that it's going to stay where it is because Venom's a popular character. So with Venom becoming a popular character already, and now it's being recognized. Now you've got what I call the Hulk 181 effect. You know what's in there, and it's going to stay there, and it's not going to go back down anytime soon. So if I was a new collector, and you all may disagree with me on this, but if I was a new collector, I would start going after Silver Age and key Bronze Age books because bang for buck, as we're kind of, Golden Age is always gonna be Golden Age. There are some Silver Age books, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, X-Men 4, things like that, that are gonna be on the pricey side, but you still can find, and you'll see tonight in my hall, you still can find pretty good Amazing Spider-Man books at a relatively decent price. It just depends on what book you're getting. As far as Bronze Age, there are a ton of Bronze Age books out there that you can get at a really, really, really good price, and a lot of key Bronze Age villains that you got people like Darkseid that was in the Bronze Age, showed up in the Bronze Age. So if I was to give advice to someone, I would say be very careful about buying modern comic books. If you're not sure what's popping, then you have to be really, really careful about buying, books. And I'm sure Tony can tell you, we go back to I mean, that's how mad he is. He just slapped his phone down. But 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 we can talk about those collecting some of those old Civil War II variants, man. And it was like going on a wild damn goose chase every week trying to find what was what. When had we had the knowledge we had now, we probably could have narrowed all that down and saved a lot of money. Uh, Xavier, welcome to the birthday celebration.
Welcome, sir.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
Good, good. Al, your thoughts on collecting. Well, you've been collecting for years, but and even you've learned a few new things in the last year. So, what's your thoughts on collecting that in this age now? As far as books and value and what to collect. What if you could do things differently from last year and going into this year, now what would you have done?
Well, one of the things that I've learned, and the show has actually helped me out a lot with this. As you know, I've been collecting since I was about 12 years old, and I'm a collector at heart, so I'm gonna buy what I like. But with us doing the show and being open to other avenues in reference to collecting not only as a hobby, but for something as far as something that I love to do, and that's collect and read comics. As far as an investment, on both aspects of the coin, if you're looking at getting into comic books as an investment, one of the things that I would suggest, and Matt and I talked about this about a week or two ago. You want to keep your eyes and ears open to what's going on in the movie industry. Now, a lot of times what happens is that, especially nowadays, the way the movies are coming out for both DC, Marvel, and then some independents, a lot of the market is driven based on what is about to be released. Case in point, and Matt could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man 361, or one of those, which is the first appearance of Carnage.
Correct. That's correct.
Right, just not even 2 months ago, that was a $10-15 book. Once it was announced that Carnage might be involved in that new Spider-Man movie, that book shot up. And as far as the top 25 most traded books, as there is actually a list that shows you what books are being commonly traded now, you're going to see a lot of books on that list that's either going to have characters that are going to be that stands the test of time. Of course, Hulk 181 is forever probably going to be on that list because of Wolverine. But you have that particular book, the Spider-Man book. You also have New Mutants 98, which is already an expensive book. But because of the fact that they're introducing Cable in the next movie, which that particular book, New Mutants 87, is joined the fray as far as trading is concerned. You want to keep your eyes and ears open to what is being said. With Marvel right now, we know that they're going to continue their movies after the Avengers Infinity War movies. Right now, one of the things that I've done, and I've expressed it on the show, is that I look for key issues now for characters that have not actually been announced that Marvel is going to do anything with. For example, Nova. Oh my gosh, the Living Tribunal, Eternity, generally characters like that. Because those particular characters are story characters, they've been around for ages. The minute that something comes out that says that particular character is going to be in a book, especially if it's a Bronze or a Silver Age book, it's going to shoot the value of that book up. Case in point, they've already announced Miss Marvel is going to get her own movie soon. And it's rumored that she actually may make a cameo in the new Avengers movie. Of course, that remains to be seen. Her book is also on that list as well, the top 25 traded list, because of the fact that she's set or slated to have a movie. Now, any of the panelists can actually agree with me or co-sign for me. Just recently when they did the Black Panther reveal as far as that first trailer, Fantastic 452, which is the first appearance of Black Panther, and then the Black Panther solo series, Black Panther #1. Both of those books shot up. So you want to make sure that you find books that are under the radar right now. Joining a few comic book groups on Facebook is cool. You could gain a lot of information from those particular sites, and just keeping your eyes and ears open. Most of all, if you want to get into comics, I say start buying stuff that you like. Now, one other thing that I'm going to say, and I'm going to relinquish to Mike. You might want to look into independence. Right now, you have a few independent books like Image, Aftershock, Black Mask, Dark Horse, Valiant Comics. Dark Horse and Valiant been around for years, but specifically Image, Aftershock, Black Mask, they're putting out books where those books are instantaneous, like as far as like hot. One book that we all collected within the group was God Country. That book was a hot book. It was a 6-series mini-series. First book on eBay, #1. How long that came out, y'all? About 5 or 6 months ago?
Probably about 7
something like that.
Yeah.
Book's easy a $50-$60 book now. It was a $4 book when it came out. 7 to Eternity. I'm sure you all, if you watch us regularly, have seen the show. We've talked about that book. Issue #1, I slipped up on. Matt got it, I think. TC got it.
I got the B and C cover. I threw the I put the A back because I didn't think it was gonna be worth anything.
No, well, I got the B cover. I got the B cover. I could have got the A cover, but I'm like, oh man, I was like you. Oh God, this. But anyway, that book, easy, $100 book. And that came out maybe 7-8 months ago. So you want to keep your eyes and ears open to a lot of the newer independents. Well, Image is not new. They've been around for about 20 plus years. But you want to keep your eyes and ears open to different like titles. Like I said, joining some of the Facebook groups, comic book speculation groups. They're all over the internet. That'll help you out as well. But at the end of the day, just do it because you want to do it. Comic books kind of like the stock market. It's hit or miss. All of us, I'm pretty sure, have books that have actually gone through the roof. And I'm sure we all have some books that the paper that were printed on. So, it's all about doing what you like, keep your ears to the ground, and, enjoying what you're doing. Don't go out there and try to buy X-Men 1 off the rip.
Yeah, you definitely don't, and Al, I'm glad you said that because you definitely don't want to get caught in trying to buy massive key issues right out the gate, man, because you'll bust your wallet. And, I'm the wallet buster of the group, so I know firsthand. I have firsthand experience on how to break your wallet. So, you have to be very careful, and you have to know not to, overprice. And I'm gonna use this as an example, and Al's gonna start laughing. I talked to Al earlier today, and we were talking about a store he visited up in Atlanta today with McDonald's. And he said he stopped by this place called, and I'm going to call the store. So if you're watching, maybe you need to fix your price. I'm just going to, it's called the Hobbit Hole. And he said that he went to the store and that they had Invaders #1. Now, Invaders #1, I've got right here in this box behind me. And I think I paid maybe $20, $25 for it. It's mint condition. It averages for about 20, 25. It's a really under the radar book. And that particular vendor had the book for $500. Yeah, that's what we call overpricing the book. Now, this is why we say you have to research and understand, understand your market. I was trying to find my book, but I think I said it's over there. And get you an Overstreet guy and know what's going on, because some of these vendors are just preying on people. And when Larry comes on, we'll talk about what we saw at the comic show 3-4 weeks ago. You just have to be very careful, man, because a lot of people will try to get over on you. And one example I saw at the comic show was one of the vendors had an NYX #3, but it was in a set, and he wanted $550 for the whole set. Well, it's only one book that's worth $200-$300 at best. So you basically paying $100 a piece for the rest of the issue. So you have to be careful, man, about buying that kind of stuff. You also, if you're buying graded books, you definitely need to know what you're doing before you buy graded books, because there's some books that are 3, 2, and in some cases a half a grade works well in. Then there's some books that you really need to have it at a 7 or above. It's all about learning learning the art of buying books. Uh, Antonio is the oracle when it comes to getting modern variants. And Rednecks was a classic example for those who Rednecks is a classic example. The book is not as hot as it was when it first came out, but if you got the Ashcan preview, you still sitting on a Tony, what, a $35-$45 book? I mean,
Yep.
easy. I mean, so you just have to know what to get and what to purchase. Antonio, your thoughts, my friend, on collecting 1 year later?
I mean, it's I'm going to tell you, man. I've learned a lot from when we started on that fort, man. And it's like you said with the variants. When I first started out, man, just looking at all the different variants, and they were coming out with like 4 and 5 different variants for like a number one. And it was like, well, which one do I get? And you really have to, like you said, you got to do your homework on it. You got to look at the artist that's doing the work on there. And you have to look at like the as far as the issues, as far as how many is being printed of that, because that's going to factor in with the value of the book, as far as if you're trying to get as far as with the money that you're paying into, getting the most buck out of it in the end game of it. So, I mean, you got to do your research on the artist. You got to go and look and see what kind of work they've done in the past, what their price of those books look like. And like you said, a lot of the older comics, you can really get those at an affordable price and really not break the bank on those. And like you said, man, you got to get what you like. If you don't have a passion for the character or the story that you're collecting, then I mean, really, you just getting it, just trying to flip it, and that's it. So, and I don't really think that's what you should go into it for in that situation.
Yeah, you can really hurt your wallet trying to flip books, man. I see guys I'm in a group, and I saw one guy today, man. He was like, "Yeah, I bought 6 copies of these books," and I was just like, "Man, you're gonna be hurting, because you got to hope you sell all 6 of them."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You got to sell them quick, because otherwise, you're in trouble. And as Antonio said, you have to have you have to collect the character. I mean, you look right there. I mean, look at this. I mean, you see that? I mean, bad as that show is, that's still on that wall. But bad as that show is, I still collect my Iron Fist because I like the character. I mean, the comic books are not bad. It's the show that's horrible. But and you just have to know what you're buying. I mean, God knows when you go get these, when they have like these 30 or 40, 50 variants, you got to know what you want to get, man. You have to know. Now, I can tell you this now, if for those who are watching, and if you want an artist that I can just about tell you 9 times out of 10, you can just about cash in. You got about 3, but the 2 main ones I know are Del Otto, Gabriel Del Otto, and Jason Scott Campbell. And the thing is with Jason Scott Campbell is you got to know what character he's drawing and what book is it. Like, for instance, if he draws a Psylocke, then more than likely you're going to want to pick that book up. If Gabriel D'Otto is drawing, like in my case, Harley Quinn, that's the first time, that's going to be something to get. And you also, and Antonio alluded to this, was that you have to know the print run. For instance, we all got this book, and everybody in the group bought this book. What was it, Tony? It's the Hulk number one. The Hulk number one.
She-Hulk.
The She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And X-23.
Yeah.
And the only way you knew about the book.
Talking about this one.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hold up there, Xavier. Let me click on it. Yeah, that's it. And that book, when we bought it, was
$20.
$20.
Well, depending on which one you got.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that is now $100 to $145 book, depending on where you look. So you have to know that those are out there, but you have to, like Al said, join these comic groups. Join groups on Facebook. We're all members of the CBSI or on the Google Hangouts. Make sure you join so that you can get an idea of what to buy, what not to buy. And also you'll learn, when people are trying to scam for it. I mean, we've seen some hair raising stuff the last 8 months, man. I mean, you got people trying to sell, comics with no covers.
Yeah.
At asinine prices. Chewed up comics. We tell you, for those who follow us heavily, we talked about one store where the owner had a Hulk 181, but it was like a dog chewed it up, and he wanted top dollar for it. So we have to you have to know what you're buying. You have to have. I mean, get on YouTube. There are guys on YouTube right now that are on YouTube. I can tell you, ETA Nick is a guy. If you really want to know the ins and the outs of collecting, get on YouTube and look up ETA Nick. He talks about every aspect of collecting. Reaper Tate 78 is another guy that talks about how to collect. There's several other guys on here. There's Doom 315 if I'm not 378 if I'm not mistaken. He talks about collecting. There's another guy me and Al follows that talks about grading all the time. Arkham Comics Las Vegas. He talks about grading. He talks about should you invest in comics that are graded? How should you store your comics? It's just a wealth of information out there. So you shouldn't be going to some of these stores, and getting flim flam. I hate to see people, go to conventions and they get up there and they're looking for a book that they really want it, and then they're paying like 7 times what the book is really worth. And then they're throwing away money when they can take that extra money and get a couple of extra other books that they may want. So you have to be careful. Xavier,
Yeah.
your thoughts on collecting, my friend, because you just gotten back into it as well.
Right. The main thing that I want to touch on is something that at least I didn't hear anybody touch on is know what type of collector you want to be. Before you go out there buying different books and this and the other, know whether or not you want to just collect the titles and the characters that you like, or if you're buying to be a true collector of rare gems, or if you're trying to be somebody who wants to buy and flip it. Know what type of collector you want to be, because everybody has said it. If you go out there and you just want to try to buy this rare book just to have it, I mean, you will go broke doing that. So you need to, before you buy the first book, do the research, join the groups, go on YouTube, watch everything, read up on it, and know if you want to be that guy that collects every single one of the Batman or Superman or X-23 or Deadpool, whoever, or if you just want to be that one that buys only what you like. Don't try to be what everybody else is being, because you got to live within your means and live within your comfort zone. Know what you want, do the research, and then go from there. That's the best advice I can give to anybody that really wants to join or jump into collecting books and titles and whatnot. What's up, V?
Well, I can give
What's
V
going
a
on?
piece of advice is to take that damn Chelsea jersey down off that damn wall.
Oh, whoa. Thank you. It's
Glad to
signed
have Vince
too.
in the
Thank
house,
you.
man. Welcome to the party, my friend. Welcome to the party.
What's
Vince,
going on, brother?
we're talking about collecting. Me and you both, we started pretty much at the very same time collecting, books. A year later, as a collector, what are your thoughts now on collecting a year later, as opposed to when you first started out? What are some of the things that you wish you could have done differently? What would you give? What kind of advice would you give to someone who is looking to get into comic collecting now?
I guess one of the main things for me is not, I guess, necessarily just rushing to try to collect everything under the sun and the moon, because, I mean, for one, I mean, unless you got like a serious amount of money, you don't get tapped out real quick. But so basically finding that niche of what you want, what you like, and then going from there. I know when I first started, I didn't know what I wanted to go down, like what avenue. Was it Marvel? Was it DC? Was it specific characters, storylines, whatever the case may be? Um, but with time, I think for me, and I think with anybody who collects or just finds something that they enjoy, you find that niche that speaks to you, and you just go from there. You know. So, I mean, my collecting, like I said, I jumped on everything when I first started doing it, just because I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. This is hot. This is hot. This is hot. But it's like picking and choosing your battles.
Right.
I think that's the main thing with it. Not saying it's a battle, but you know, picking and choosing the right one to get versus like you think it's hot and it really is not that hot. But yeah,
You know, one thing, and me and Al, Al is a student. He'll tell you. I'm gonna let him tell you tonight. He'll tell you that you want to get graded comics. You want to get comics of that are old school at bargain basement prices. You want to get stuff that you probably couldn't touch at a comic store. Then you go to eBay. There's certain times of night you can get on eBay and you can get top line books for under $50. Now, Al, am I telling a lie?
You're not lying
I mean,
at all.
we've got. You'll see some night in my hall. I've got a couple here tonight that I got at bargain basement prices. You just have to know how to buy this stuff. You have to know how to avoid the eBay scammers as well as local comic books. So, I mean, we got guys on eBay, man, that are asking for like asinine prices. I saw a Court 181 today, and this guy wanted $7,600 for a grade 7. And he's out of his mind. You know,
somebody buy
it. We saw last year the infamous Amazing Spider-Man 129 with the cover tore off, and that guy wanted, thousands of dollars. Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know, they'll be like, "Oh man, I can get 129," and they'll think that they got a comic book that's worth something, man, and it's torn in half. I talked to Will today. I was at the store with Will at Comics Plus today. And he showed me a list of books that this guy brought in, and he said it was old Golden Age stuff, but he said all the covers were ripped off. And we'll say, well, man, you can use that, just throw that to the dog because they're not worth anything. But he's thinking because it's a Golden Age comic book that I can do something with it when that's not the case. Al,
just want to add something that you just said in addition to eBay. And if you've been watching this show, you know that I pretty much preach this like pretty much the whole time. And Matt, you probably gonna know what I'm about to say, but in addition to eBay, one other place that you could find some gems, and I know this to be true, and Matt knows this to be true as well, because sometime last year he went when I was living in McDonough, he went up to one of the flea markets with me up there. And he bought NYX number 3.
Number 4.
Number 4. That book is like a $20, $30, $40 book, and you paid how much for it?
$2.
$2. I ran into an Uncanny X-Men 266 up there, first appearance of Gambit, $2. So I extol the virtues of flea markets. A lot of people don't do them because they feel like they're beneath them. Flea markets, yard sales, anything of that nature. I'm not saying if you're going to start collecting comics, just go to the first yard sale you see. Again, it's about picking and choosing your battles, because not all yard sales are going to have Action Comics number 1. You might get Youngblood number 52. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, don't limit yourself if you are going to, collect comics for the purpose of trying to find something of value, because there are like mom and pop stores all over, flea markets, yard sales, where you could actually come up and get that lick, as some vernacular slang is spoken, but you could do that too. So, but like X said, and like Vince said, do what you love, do what you wanna collect, and just go from there.
And also, don't be afraid to hit us up on the in the chat section of this video, and just you got any questions, man, we'll be more than glad to ask. There's no stupid question when it comes to collecting. All right, so
So
let's move on. Let's kind of stay in this mindset. We're gonna go down the panel here. We'll start with Antonio. Antonio, what book did you buy last year, and what is your favorite book that you bought last year, and how is it doing right now in price?
This is it. This this is it. This is this is the one me and you talked about back when we at the very
That started
beginning
it
when we
all.
got the collecting. And this is the one that
it really
started it
did.
all. So this one has like a bit of a sentimental value to it to me personally. I don't know the value of it now. I know it's still high and it's hard to find and you don't see them anymore. But yeah, it's the DC Universe Rebirth, man. The uh the sketch cover. This is the one that started it off for me. And I mean, I've been happy since I bought it. I've been happy with the rest of the Rebirth comics that have come out since then. And yeah, this is the one, man.
And that book is still consistently. I think I've seen that book go for anywhere from 100 to 250, depending on where you at. I mean, that's a solid. It's a
Yeah,
solid holder. And I think I got mine for 60 at the time, and I think you got yours for like maybe 20, maybe 30, something like that.
yeah.
So, all right, Al, what book did you buy last year, or in your case this year, that is it's high in value or means a lot to you?
Hey, Al stepped away for a
Oh,
second.
Al cut away. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Uh, Vince, and if you don't have it, that's fine.
Uh,
If you don't have the book in front of you, that's
well,
fine.
oh well, I mean, it would be easy for me to get it if I was thinking I had more time. But I will, as y'all look at me, look for it. But it is this one
Aha!
right here.
Oh,
That wonderful,
Mm.
wonderful New Mutants. 87, 9.4 grade.
oh,
Um, that's for me as far as like the highest value book that I'm glad that I got because it's going to do nothing but skyrocket, especially when Deadpool 2 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still it goes for. I mean, I paid. I think it was like 170 something for it, maybe. I mean, it's still for a 9.4. I mean, it's upwards
Oh
like
wow!
$300,
Mm-hmm.
even higher. I mean, granted, I wish I got one that was signed, but whatever. But I'm gonna have to pick it back up on TC. I mean, that sketch variant, DC Rebirth, was what really kicked it off. Everybody was like, "Yo, get it, DC starting over. Let's go ahead and roll with it." I mean,
Everybody except for
that
Larry.
pretty much, pretty much. He's like, no, but yeah, I got that, and I would say every Flash issue that has come out to this point, I have yet been disappointed. So those hold super value to me as far as all the Flash ones and the DC Rebirth. But my New Mutants 87 is what I'm gonna have to go with it for last
All
year.
right, X.
I mean, I got two books that hold like sentimental value to me. I don't know what the actual retail value on them is right now. I really don't care because they hold a place in my heart. But I was excited when I got this bad boy right here.
Mm.
Super excited. And the second one is this bad boy right here.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna bring that one up.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Um,
do you know what the significance of that is? That you probably, I know you probably know.
I know.
Anybody else know whose first appearance is in that book?
Motherfucking Deathstroke.
Mm-mm.
Now
Mm-mm.
hold it back up again, Zay.
Hold up, let me see.
You see that far left over there? That's Nightwing. First appearance of Nightwing.
The first appearance of Nightwing.
Oh yeah. I was looking
That
at the
is
other cover. I'm thinking that.
definitely undervalued. How much did you get for that? How much did you pay for that?
I paid $30 for this.
I mean, there you go.
Actually, I didn't pay anything. It was a birthday gift from my old lady, so
Yeah,
I didn't pay anything.
I mean that's always a win.
And Will has a better copy up there, and I'm trying to negotiate with him to let me get that one because technically I wasn't supposed to buy that because he told me that that was his copy that Amanda sold me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry,
Al.
Will.
Al, your thoughts, your book. You probably kind
Well,
of
you know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. I don't have it to show because it's probably, I just moved, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, and everything is everywhere. But I will say one of the books that last year that kind of like rekindled my fire for collecting comics, which I was still collecting, but really got me amped, was the Civil War 2. I think the #1 variant when we went over to Animes and Escape that time, Matt.
The
It's the
variant master.
Gwenpool, yeah, the Gwenpool variant. That book is probably peaking right now at about $50 or $60. But the reason why I just selected that book was because I was pretty much the type of collector where I'm collecting books like titles, series, and stuff. I wasn't really into variants until I joined the group and we started doing the show. Matt and I were at this place up in McDonough, and I looked, and he's like, "Man, that's a good book to get." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." He was telling me that it was like $20 at Comics Plus. It was cover price up there, so I went ahead and snagged it. And like I said, now it's probably resting at about $50-$60. So that actually kind of got me interested on the variant end of things. Um, as far as just the second title, I think the Rebirth kind of like put everything into perspective for me. Being a longtime Marvel fan, was disappointed with a lot of stuff Marvel had been coming out with, but Flash has been nothing short of great. Green Lanterns, that is an excellent book as well as Green Arrow. I'm still collecting those books. So I would have to say Flash, Green Lanterns, Arrow. Those are the books that have pretty much kind of kept me going as far as collecting newer titles. So that'd be it for me.
All right. Welcome to the birthday bash, Larry.
Hey, happy 1-year anniversary, fellas.
All right. Well, my book that just lit it up for me, and just kind of, the original Wallet Buster.
I already know.
He's gonna pull it out. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it out. And not only am I, Al saw it, so I'm gonna pull it out. Al saw it. It actually came back. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 first print.
Yep.
Newly slabbed.
None dropped.
Yeah, this is. But this is, as far as like my grail of grails,
What's the grade?
This is a great. It's a 3.5, but I could give 2 asses on a rat of it being a 3.5. I mean, when you think about, there's only maybe 1,000 of these, maybe 1,000 in existence. To have one and have it slabbed, which is extremely even rare. I actually did a search for this on eBay the other night, and I saw only like 3 copies of the first print. I mean, people they're not getting rid of them. They're not going to get rid of these. And I mean, I've had even with the few Nicks and Deans that I've had with it. I mean, I've had like 20 offers for this. So just being that day. Yeah, I mean, it's just I was just thrilled to was able to obtain that, especially my first year collecting, actively collecting, and also as TC alluded, that DC Rebirth really just fired it up for me, just really kicked everything into high gear. And it's been a fun ride. I can tell you, it's honestly been a fun ride collecting. Me and Larry, me and him get together on at least 2 weekends out of the month, and we just go scavenger hunting and see what we can find. And now that Al's down here, it's going to be even worse. So he's shaking his head like, no. Larry, what's the comic that you collected? We're talking about, just a perspective of over a year of collecting. What book has meant a lot to you as far as collecting within this past year?
It's only one. NYX3.
Yeah, I hope he was gonna pull it out, but he don't. He gotta go. It's no telling where that book at.
I gotta go get it.
But Yeah, you know, and I know that book. You know, me and you both have it, and I know that book meant a lot to you, man. You know, getting it. So, but expound on that, my friend.
Oh man, it's just first X-23. You know, like I say, my favorite character. So, just especially with her being in the movie this year, it just kind of brought everything full circle. And that's the last character they would have thought put in the Wolverine movie, this soon.
Yeah,
but it happened. So, and it made the book go through the roof.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and actually, you know, and Larry was you know, we went to the comic convention a few weeks ago, and Larry can attest to this. You know, so I love having when I have my people with me so they can back me up on this. Is that one of the vendors was saying he believes that X-23 will surpass 181 in price. And you know, when I sit down and look at it, I believe he's correct, and I'll tell you why. You know, Wolverine's been around for what? How many years?
Forever.
40, 30, 40, 50 years, something like that.
About 40.
Yeah,
about 40.
To see NYX #3 become almost $1,000 book in less than, when did she debut? 2003?
Yeah, 2004.
14 years, and it's already $1,000 book. Well, right at $1,000 book, depending on where you buy. So that she's definitely picking up steam, and she's not going anywhere because she's like a massive cult favorite for everybody.
You know,
so,
we went to that one convention, and that dude had all 5 of them. He was selling them for what, $500, Matt?
Y'all thought I was playing when I told y'all that earlier, didn't I? Told y'all. You basically buying one book and paying $100.
That was raw. Yeah, that was raw. No slab, no nothing.
And it was funny because I think he was the only vendor there that even had it.
Yeah, he was the only one that had it.
Yeah, so I guess he thought he was working on something, but it wasn't working for him.
No, I don't think nobody picked it up.
No. I did come across something. I went by Comics Plus yesterday to pick up my normal books, and I got the free previews for this month. Larry, I don't know if you've been to pick up your books yet or not.
Yeah, I went today.
Did you get your copy of free preview?
He slid it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I took notice to, and you know, I'm just not the super massive Marvel collector that I used to be, at least modern age stuff. But one thing that stuck out to me, man, is the generations. They're right there. You know, and Larry's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. This is for those collecting, and we just got through talking about collecting last segment. When we talk about getting books that are probably going to be worth something, I can just about tell you, you can go ahead and, you know, just watch the variants to see who's doing the artwork. And you'll, you know, me and Larry both got a book, and I'm probably sure we're going to probably both pull it out tonight. Or at least Larry's going to pull his out. When we talk about covers, and we talk about, you know, that you can just about take it to the bank. Something like this done by like Del Auto or somebody, you know, you don't even have to worry. Just go buy it. Just buy it and hold it. It'll eventually go up. So let's step away from the comic side and let's go into the TV side of things right now. And let's talk. Al alluded to this week as we talked earlier this past Sunday, and I this was a segment that you all didn't get on our rundown, but I just thought about it while we were talking earlier. And TC, hopefully TC will get back with us on this, but. This segment is called "Walking Dead is Better Than the Walking Dead." And Al knows Fear the Walking Dead is better than the Walking Dead. Now we know that last week was the season finale, well, mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead, and I would like for Al to expound on this because Al had not watched Fear the Walking Dead in maybe 2 or 3 seasons, so he had to kind of fast track himself back up to speed. So, Al, your thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead?
All right, I'm gonna condense this in like 4 minutes. Okay, Fear the Walking Dead is a superior show to The Walking Dead. I say that because I feel as though The Walking Dead suffers from continuity in the comics. I think because they work on a linear plane, it kind of hampers the story a bit. They try to change things up in the show. They try to spruce things up and to differentiate it from the comic. Case in point, as of right now, Carol is still alive in the comic. I mean, in the show, she's been dead for a long time in the book. Michonne actually hooked up with Morgan instead of Rick in the comic. Of course, she's with Rick in the show. Other little nuances, when Tyrese died, that's how Morgan actually died in the comic. So I think because of the fact that it actually is linear to the comic book, even though they try to make some changes, I think it still suffers in that area. Whereas with Fear the Walking Dead, you have a new group of people. You have a fresh slate. You have a clean slate. You don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to get the Whisperers in there, whether or not they're going to get Alpha in there, whether or not they're going to be able to get this person or that person from the comic book, because it's like a clean slate. It's a chalkboard, a clean chalkboard that they can pretty much do whatever they want to do. As of right now, I feel like the writing on the Fear the Walking Dead is superb because of, again, it doesn't follow the linear path of The Walking Dead. In my honest personal opinion, the character development on Fear the Walking Dead is on point. I mean, you feel certain ways. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Strand, that he a crook. That dude is a low down, dirty sapsucker. Nick is one of those type of people that he's pretty much gonna do whatever he needs to do to make things happen. Madison is a cross between Rick, Carol, and Shane. She just don't care. Madison is like, the last 2 episodes of the season finale, the mid-season finale, I'm like, wow, this is like crazy. Ophelia, she's even Daniel. Every character that's still alive on that show that started off, they have seriously provided some character development for those characters. And the overall story, the gist, as far as the whole, the camp, with the survivalist versus the Indian nation. Of course, we all know that's going to come to a head eventually, but they are doing some excellent right now. Fear the Walking Dead started off real slow. Season 1 was good. Season 2 kind of like dipped when they were in that on that Mexican plantation or whatever you want to call it. It picked up towards the end of season 3. But this season, as far as season 3, the first half of season 3 has been nothing but top notch. And I commend them, whoever actually is doing the writing, the producing, the directing. I commend them for putting on a great show. Hopefully, The Walking Dead will redeem itself. I don't know. But Fear the Walking Dead is on point. That's all I got to say.
And Antonio, what is your thoughts? And we know what your thoughts are. I mean, technically, I know. What are your thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead?
I mean, it's a top-notch show, man. I mean, it's if you're trying to compare it to the regular Walking Dead show, it's a completely different show because, like Al said, this show can pretty much do anything it wants to do and go in any kind of direction it wants to go, and that really proved it on the season premiere because they killed off what many people was thinking was the main character of the whole show, and you killed him off like right there at the end of it, which just threw everybody into a shock.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the show overall, I mean, it's a really good show. It's an open-ended story, so they can go anywhere they want to go with it. You can have your lead character be Nick. You can have a lead character be even his mom on the show, and therefore she could be the lead character. So it can really go in a lot of different directions. As far as the storyline go, I wish they would actually show more of, like with Daniel. I'd like to see more of him on the show. I know they're gonna limit and try to split up everything on there for it, but I'd like to see more of him and maybe even do like a little bit of backstory on him of what he was doing before all this went down. But yeah, I mean, it's an awesome show and superior writing compared to the other. Because we pretty much know step by step how it's supposed to go in the other show on there for it.
Larry, have you been watching Fear the Walking Dead? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I love playing devil's advocate with y'all. I'm gonna disagree. But this is why. Though.
Speak on it, bro.
You can only say that Fear the Walking Dead is a superior show right now. The Walking Dead, you gotta think about how many. It was the number one show on TV for a reason. Millions of people were watching it. It overtook Sunday Night Football, but it's because you out of those millions you have watching it, only a select few, I say a small percentage of that base actually read the comic. So to those people who don't read the comic, like y'all feel about the Walking Dead right now, they feel about the Walking Dead because they don't know what's supposed to happen. And y'all probably just ruined a lot of it for people that never read the comic. You know what I'm saying? So I think that now don't get me wrong, the Walking Dead now is suffering from lag, but I think a lot of that it's just like comic book movies. We expect a lot out of those movies because we know what's supposed to happen. But you gotta think when Infinity War comes out next year, that movie's gonna make $1 billion easy. You gotta think out of those people who just caught on to the Marvel movie bandwagon, they don't know what's supposed to happen in that movie. We do. And we're a small population of who actually is going to see that movie. So I think The Walking Dead, think about it. Like you said, The Walking Dead started out slow. The first couple of seasons, especially that first 8 seasons, it kept you want to see what was going to happen next, but at the same time, it was slow. Then as it built up, we felt we began to like Rick. We began to like those characters, just like you beginning to like those characters on Fear the Walking Dead. It's a fresh slate for you because you don't know what's going to happen. Just like we didn't know what was going to happen in the beginning with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead made people go read the comic. So I think it's backwards.
I can see that's I can accept that, Larry.
Vince Boogie.
Well, I don't watch either one of the shows, so I have nothing to add to the commentary. I try to watch The Walking Dead. Just like Larry said, it was slow at the beginning, and that's what killed it for me. It was just so slow. I had to give it up. But I mean, I watched the majority of the first season of the Fear of the Walking Dead, and that was actually interesting. I mean, not knowing anything about it. Granted, obviously, it's not a comic-based movie, or not movie, but TV show. But I mean, it's the sheer action that kept you pulled in. You just didn't know what was going to happen. So just knowing that, and then basically hearing y'all rants and raves about how slow the hell The Walking Dead is. I mean, I honestly, I can agree with both sides. It may be a better show right now because it's something new, something fresh. It's a different perspective on the same problem that we see on the Walking Dead, because it's the prequel, and luckily this prequel is done right, unlike Star Wars movies. But I mean, that's neither here or there. But on it, from what I did see on it, I liked the Fear the Walking Dead way better than I like The Walking Dead. But that's just coming from very small exposure to it.
Let me say this, and I think this is and TC, see if you would you agree that Kirkman, since Kirkman is able to have a clean slate with Fear the Walking Dead, he's able to fix the potholes and mistakes that he may have ran into with on Walking Dead, because like Larry said, that Walking Dead, you're tied to literature. Well, Fear the Walking Dead, you're tied to basically what you want to do. So am I fair in saying that?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right in saying that on there. And I mean, even in the show, they haven't stuck to the script step by step, because even he said himself that he wanted to change some of the storylines, some of the characters in like a small way or different way. And he's done that in the show. Like the way they killed Abraham. He didn't like the way they killed Abraham in the comics, so he changed that up in the show on there.
But kind of like we said earlier in the like one of the shows we had earlier, I think what you have in Fear the Walking Dead right now is what is missing in The Walking Dead. You had those WTF moments in Fear the Walking Dead. Like y'all saying, when they killed old boy, you were like, man, they just did that, man. And that's how The Walking Dead used to be. You know, like when you, even though you might have knew something was going to happen, when you saw Rick kill Shane, or when you saw Carol burn up the body, you like, man, oh, you did that? You know, it's like you don't have that right now. It's just like they trying to draw out something to maybe get to another one, but it's taking them too long to get to it.
Yeah. Xavier, your thoughts?
Hey, I've been saying since I got into Fear the Walking Dead that I love Nick. Nick. Nick is that dude in my opinion. I honestly, I'm agitated with Madison right now. You know, and the only reason I'm agitated with her is like to me it's almost like Rick minus Shane. Like I'm no shade at on what Al said, but to me she's more that Rick where she started out kind of weakish, but then going through the stuff she went through, she turned into somebody that was strong. Is she gonna go back weak? Because you know Rick flip flop 3 and 4 times a season. You know, until somebody about to die, and then when they threaten to cut somebody's arm off, exactly. When they threaten to cut somebody's arm off, now he want to be Billy Badass.
Did we lose you as X? That we lost him. I guess you're doing this flash impression. He's trapped in the time force.
Timeline.
We missed that last part, Xavier. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying I gotta wait and see if she gonna flip flop again if I'm sold
okay.
Madison, you know. But all in all, I really like Fear the Walking Dead better than The Walking Dead. I get what Larry was saying. I mean, golly, it was great at the beginning. I really can't count season 1 of either one of them because they're only like 6 or 8 episodes apiece. So that's to me not really a show. Season 2 was the best one of all of them, but season 3 with The Walking Dead died out and it's been dying with a speed bump to get you up in the air again, then come right back down. At least with Fear the Walking Dead, it's been a consistent rise in the action and the storyline of it.
All right, so let's go ahead and move to our next topic. As y'all can see below, but y'all can see at the bottom there.
Yeah.
The strain is back. My Sunday nights have gone up a notch. And I'm not talking about Sunday night football. The strain is back. The old man is back. That dumbass child that Willie May had is back.
Yes, Zach.
Zach is back. And this past week's episode, it was bad. It's kind of just like going back to work. Okay, let's get back on the clock. And I mean, you kind of see where things are gonna go. And I told Tony, as watching all 3. What is it? What are we on? 4? Not TC 4? Season 4? Oh,
3.
3?
Is it 3 or 4?
The last season?
Yeah. So it's 4. It's 4. No, it's 3. It's 3 because it's 3. It's 3.
It's 3. It's 3.
It's season 3. And watching and Xavier and TC can attest to this. Watching the show go from sugar to shit is absolutely great. And when I say sugar to shit, I mean the actual aspect of the show, the apocalypse. Watching everything, from the nobody heeding the warnings to now it's a state of acceptance, which makes it even crazier. I'm a really big fan of the book. I read the books, and I really just think that right now, man, it's you hate to see this come to an end, but we all know it's coming to an end. Xavier, we'll kick off with you on this here. What are your thoughts on this past week's episode of The Strain? It's the return.
I was pretty cool with it. I mean, at first you sit there and you kind of wonder like what is going on. Then you quickly realize what's going on, and they didn't just leave you hanging in the show. And I cannot remember Buddy's name. The one that played the Blob or X-Men Origins. The one that he got captured and then he was saved.
Yeah.
Forgot his name. I love him. Like to me, he's one of the best characters on this show, and I hope they kind of keep him as a focal character this season instead of Doctor. Why am I forgetting about the name now? Anyway, Zach's dad. To me, he's not interesting. So yeah, he's not interesting at all to me. I hope they stay away from him as much as possible. And I wish Zach would be killed off, but we know they ain't gonna have not no time soon.
He got the white, so we know he ain't around a while. He got the whites. Get the whites. TC, your thoughts on the strain this past week?
This episode, I will say, I'm glad it's back. It's a show that I've missed. I want to see the story. I want to see what's going on. We got the Quinlan coming in and handling business and not taking any crap from anybody. And it was kind of a slow episode to start out with, and I had some questions as far as with the stuff that's going on and where the locations are on there, because it really seemed, with the whole nuclear bombs and blowing up and all that going off on there for it seems like that pretty much like the vampires now can just roam anywhere they want to go, which I'm wondering, like, why didn't Quinlan just pretty much just go in and just wreck shop at this point? So, because he can't be stopped by anybody except for maybe the master at best on there at this point. But I like the way the story is going. The doctor is. We follow him a lot. We follow him a lot in the show. He's an okay character on there for it, simply because of the fact that I guess his son is the protege master coming up on there for it. But really, it's Fett, between Fett and Quinlan. That's really my main thing. When I like to see it, that's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
Al, did you catch the strain this week, man? No, you didn't catch it. No, okay, well, all right.
I'm gonna get caught up on it though.
Okay, all right, Larry.
I can't get into the strain, man. I'm gonna have to sit down. I tried that first season, man. I just can't get past it, man. So I want to sit down and focus one day and watch it.
Did you watch?
All you got to do. Let me get y'all the quick blueprint for those who haven't watched the strain.
Hold on. First season is rough. I would say that first season rough.
Leia, did you watch all the Legion?
No.
Okay, all right. You cool then. All right.
Exactly. If you can watch all the Legion, man, there's no excuse.
Right.
Honestly, man, and TC and Xavier will back me up on this 100%. Once you get past that first season of the strain, it is full speed ahead. And by the time you get to we're on season 4. Season 3, it's full. It's all hell break loose on season 3.
And by the time you get the first half of season 1.
Yeah.
The first half of season 1 is slow, but once you make it past that midway point, it gets better.
Once you get to the oculation, man, you win now. Once you get the oculation, that's when it really gets good. Vince, your thoughts, man? I know you on my timeline saying you're going to watch it,
I did say I was going to watch it, but my DVR didn't record it. And then I was trying to find it on demand, and I couldn't find it. So I have yet to watch it. But I watched Game of Thrones twice already. So
your DVR knew what it was doing, Vince. He knew what it was doing.
Nah, bro. This ain't season 1, though. I was actually looking forward to this thing coming back. So we good. I'm gonna catch up, though. I'm gonna catch up, just like Al said. I'm gonna catch up.
All right, so let's move over to our next topic. That was not the only show that debuted this past Sunday. This past Sunday marks the return of Winter is Here. Game of Thrones.
And it's here.
It is here. And the climax is happening. And for those who watched the show and watched really hard, you saw a cameo of Ed Sheeran.
Singing.
And offering meat.
Rabbit. Yes.
Rabbit. Yes. TC, you are the Game of Thrones master here on the panel. Your thoughts of Game of Thrones? Did it meet your expectations?
It met their expectations. I'll go ahead and say, man, that it's kind of bittersweet because you know it's only going to be 6 episodes of this, and that's really like the main. That was the first thing when I thought. I was like, man, I'm only going to get to see like 6 episodes, and then it's 5 after the night. But it opened up right out the gate with what people like to see on Game of Thrones, and that's death of characters on the show.
Mass death.
And they did not disappoint. It was some revenge and payback, just like classic Game of Thrones. It was revenge and payback from the get-go and from the start. And I would say that Arya Stark is she's a woman determined on what she's gonna do. But that Red Keep is it's gonna be hard to get in there and dealing with the
She'll
Mountain
find a way.
and with Cersei.
She'll find a way.
So she'll find a way. It's gonna be tough, and I really want to see how. Really, the main thing I sit here and look at on the show is I'm wondering which character is gonna go up against which character, and which character is gonna die and how they're gonna die. Because I mean, let's face it, if you like a character in Game of Thrones, they're pretty much a goner at that point. So
I mean, the only thing they can
probably gone. The Hound, he's probably gone. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of deaths in the show, but I really was excited about it, and I really enjoyed the episode.
they're gonna have to put fire on the Mountain's ass. That's the only thing that's going. That's the only thing that's going to stop him is if you gotta put fire on his ass. The dragons. Al, do you watch Game of Thrones, man?
Yes, I have watched Game of Thrones.
I don't see where this is going.
Hey, if you're not past season 4, then just start where you at. Just start where you at.
Well, okay. Well, let me just say this. I like Game of Thrones, and I actually have the first 6 seasons. My problem is that when I start watching Game of Thrones, something else comes on, and it diverts my attention from Game of Thrones. And it's like, remember that episode of Family Guy where what's his face was on there, and Peter Griffin trapped him up under a box, and he was like, "Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy." It's like
James
that.
Woods,
Yeah, James Woods. Just like that, man. When it comes down to TV shows, my attention can get diverted real quick. Like, keep in mind, I still haven't watched like second half of Walking Dead season 8, 7, whichever one it is.
Yeah,
So,
but you ain't missing anything.
well, yeah, I'm gonna watch it just for
Don't.
doodle and giggles. I gotta watch it, man. Just
No.
okay. Well, I'm gonna get caught up before season 8 of Game of Thrones, man. I'm gonna get caught up.
I tell you what, that Walking Dead is a visual laxative, man. I'm here to tell you. Larry, did you watch Game of Thrones Sunday, my friend?
I'm like, man, that's another show, man.
Oh, jeez.
I can't.
Oh man, y'all let me down.
I wasn't feeling that one, man.
I mean, it got almost every Marvel character in it, so why not watch it?
I mean, I like the show. Don't get me wrong.
It's not much.
I know Vince got my back. Vince, I know you watch something.
Oh yeah, come on now. Yeah, I had to pick and choose, and I chose wisely, in my opinion. But like TC said, I mean, it started off with a bang. I mean, I honestly thought it was a flashback at one point.
Yeah.
And then she gets into her little speech, and he was like, "Oh shit, she stuck around." Versus, which threw me off. I thought she would have headed up north, but she's actually heading down, further down south to go handle her business. But I honestly, I think, just like a point that y'all brought up, like how she gonna deal with the mountain and all the other crap. But I'm thinking by the time she gets down there, shit's gonna start hitting the fan. So it might make it or give her an opportunity to actually get in there and be able to take out what she needs to take out with minimal resistance, I'll say. But they set up a lot of good points. A lot of people complain, from what I heard, that it wasn't as action packed as they expected, especially being coming back, but it didn't end off with a lot of action. It ended off with, we see Daenerys, on her mini ships with, Ironborn and, the Dothraki and all of them, her 3 dragons. But I mean, you can't start off episode 1.
Did they think they were gonna see Lucille?
I don't know what they thought they were going to see, to be honest with you. But I mean, it started off the way it was supposed to, and you can see certain scenes within the first episode are direct continuation from the way that the last episode was, the previous season, especially when they're up north with Jon and Sansa and all of them. I mean, that's a direct continuation of that conversation. And I would say the highlight is Lady Mormont. I mean, like, she's one of the most badass characters without doing anything to people, and her I mean, it's just it floors me. But there's a lot of key, I would say, nuggets if you're not paying attention in that episode, especially when Sam, is at the Citadel and you see Gerard. I mean, they don't show him, and he asked the question because I had somebody ask me this question and they was like, well, who was that? I'm like, really, bro? Like, you didn't see the silhouette? I mean, you hear the tone of the voice. But one of the big things that basically stood out is that Danny made it home to Dragonstone. If you paid attention to the scene where Sam is looking through the book trying to figure out about, more about Dragonglass, right? There's a map.
Yep.
And it shows Dragonstone, but then there's this entrance that looks like a little triangle. Is exactly what Danny walked right by when she got off the boat. And in there is a whole bunch of damn Dragonglass, which they need, obviously, up north. But obviously, they don't know that. I mean, Sam's going to send a Raven, so hopefully, John can talk to his aunt and be like, yo, auntie, let me get some of this Dragonglass business. But I enjoyed the first episode. Like I said, I already watched it twice, so it's okay.
Xavier, close us out on Game of Thrones.
Hey man, I was excited, man. I really enjoyed it. As far as like what y'all was saying, as far as the mountain, I can't wait to see him and the Hound really just go at it, man. That's what I'm waiting on.
True, it's gonna happen.
About fire and whatnot. Hey, I think that's gonna be the be all end all right there, bro. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, especially with him going over to the Lord of Light too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that. I love the direction of it, man. That show you never really had a true dull moment. Even the slow points in the show had significant meaning behind it. So I'm all Game of Thrones.
All right, this is Xavier's favorite segment of the show tonight. Batman script has been torn up for DC, and Gotham is moving nights. Does that equal success? I'm gonna say when you go from Monday night to Thursday night, man, you in bad shape.
Good.
That means that they've ran out of ideas. I mean, we know they ran out of ideas.
They didn't run out of ideas. They ran out of the his Rose Gallery to introduce before he become Batman.
They don't have another Batman character to put on the show.
They had everybody.
Put them all in the show already. I mean, good Lord Almighty.
They gonna have him fighting against Damian in the next episode, and he ain't even met Talia Ghul.
Who's watching this show? Who's watching?
Nobody. Unfortunately, me.
I mean, why is this still on the air?
Unfortunately, I'm still watching it because I have to see how bad they messed this damn show up.
I think it probably garners enough viewers, man, to keep it on. But normally moving from Monday night to Thursday night is not a good move. If you can survive Thursday night, though, it's positive.
Hey, man. Legends of Tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. What
about on Thursday night, I'm about to say Supernatural was on Thursdays, too. And that's been on for like 25 seasons, though.
But Supernatural has always been on Thursday night.
Well, Supernatural survived a couple of days. It survived Friday, it survived Thursday, and it survived Tuesday.
But the thing is, that's a good show with good writing. You know what I mean? You can't.
Yes, it's like apples and vinegar. You can't really compare the two. Yeah, I get it.
But they're actually changing the schedule for next year. Because Supergirl is going to be on Monday night still, 8 o'clock. Tuesday nights is going to be The Flash.
Right now, who watches that?
Legends of Tomorrow. And then Thursday night, they're moving Arrow to 9 o'clock on Thursday nights now.
On Thursday or Wednesday?
everybody.
Yes. It's going to Thursday nights now.
Oh yeah, then
that's stupid.
Gotham would be fine then.
Especially going up against what is going up against.
Yeah, Gotham would be fine.
Sale buddies. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we'll go ahead. We'll slip past this, man.
Hey, hold on.
Go ahead, Xavier.
One thing I will.
My slate. Go ahead.
One thing I will say about the Batman script being changed, I'm all for that because like if you like the ape like the Planet of the Apes movies with Caesar being the main character, I mean, what's his name? Matthew Vaughn, is that the
Hmm.
director's name? He is on point. So why not just let him do his thing? Because once he gets all into it, he gives it his all, and he wants to make sure it's grade A product, and you ain't got to worry about Ben Affleck splitting time here, splitting time there. All he has to do is come out there and act. And I mean, if he chooses not to go on from there, I mean, hey, that's on him. At least he tried it. But I'm excited that the way he wants to go is showing Batman as a detective, not just Batman, Batman, and Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne. You know, so I'm actually happy about that.
All right. DC movie, top grossing superhero movie for the summer. Larry is not pleased.
Uh,
Wonder Woman is with Spider Man struggling there, and we all knew the fall off was coming for Spider Man. But with that happening, that pretty much opened the door for Wonder Woman to take top superhero movie. Matter of fact, I believe top grossing movie of the summer. There's something what's coming out in a few. There's something coming out in a few weeks, but I don't think I don't think it's gonna catch Wonder Woman. But let's just be frank. Let's just be frank. Wonder Woman is a relatively popular character. A lot of women went to go see this movie, and there's nothing. Please don't. Anybody watching this? Everybody knows I'm the furthest thing from a sex. But women went and watched this movie, which they should. And I think every young girl should go see a movie like this.
I took my daughter.
Yeah, I mean, I told my buddy, I said, take your daughter to go see this movie, man. This is top notch, and it was a really good movie. At the end of the day, it was a really good movie that people went to go see. We talked about this. For those who are watching, you can go back 7 months back in January, February, and we all said this. This was going to be the make or break movie with DC. We don't know what Justice League gonna do. I don't know any. I can't tell you. I don't know, but I know what Wonder Woman did, and Wonder Woman gave us a good movie, and it deserves that. If it does get that moniker of top movie of the summer, it deserves it. And and at the end of the day, I'm happy for DC. As a comic book fan, we all know we like Marvel movies, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to have something that's good. Competition is a good thing. Vince McMahon, are you watching this? Because I want you to know. Competition is a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing because you bring out the best in each other, and that's what happened with Wonder Woman. Al, your thoughts on Wonder Woman possibly taking the top crown for the summer?
Personally, I have no problem with it. I mean, for all accounts, it's a great movie. I still hadn't had an opportunity to see it, but like you mentioned, we had mentioned some time ago that this was the movie that was going to make or break the DC cinematic universe, and fortunately for DC, it was a winner. So, as it stands right now, DC is in a good place with Justice League. Once Wonder Woman came out swinging like it did, I don't know if y'all remember, but DC went back and did some reshoots for Justice League. So I think that they did those reshoots on the strength of the success of Wonder Woman to maybe add some additional Wonder Woman footage, or I guess some additional substance to the movie. Justice League releases this year, right? Don't it come out later on this year?
After Thor.
Like November.
Supposedly.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 week after Thor.
Day before my birthday.
We
So,
don't,
I
we
mean,
don't know
you
if they're
looking
gonna
at
stick
us.
to that date yet.
Well, I personally, okay. Well, personally, I think right now they're in good traction. Wonder Woman, I mean, it deserves if it deserves the title of top grossing movie. I mean, and like I said earlier, we knew Spider-Man was gonna fall off because even though Spider-Man is a good movie, I mean, you got 5 Spider-Man movies before it, so I knew it wasn't gonna really be able to stand up to Wonder Woman because of that fact.
That's 4. We're not going to acknowledge 3. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop acknowledging.
You gotta take the good with the bad, man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3.
At least they got Sandman right in that one.
Well, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother show, man.
3 hours.
Y'all didn't like Peter Parker dancing, man?
Man,
Nope.
you know what? That whole movie, the only redeeming quality,
Peter Parker.
the only redeeming quality of that movie, in all honesty, was Sandman. To be frank, they could have done Spider-Man 3 without Green Goblin Jr. and without Venom, and it would have. I think it would have been a very successful movie.
We're
But
not gonna call him Venom. That was not Venom.
well, Spider-Man Black. We're gonna use some Dragon Ball. Spider-Man Black.
Spider-Man.
Back on Wonder Woman, yeah, we'll be on Spider-Man.
Okay. So, I mean, as far as Wonder Woman goes, man, it deserves the accolades. I mean, you know, from all intents and purposes, it was a great movie. I still plan on seeing it. I'll probably go to the movies matinee, check it out Saturday morning. But, I mean, I'm glad, even though I'm, you know, been a Marvel fan all my life, I'm glad that it was successful because, like you said, you know, competition is good, Vince McMahon. Thank you for screwing up WCW. But if your competition is always good, so hopefully this will, you know, kindle a fire, and we'll see some healthy competition between, you know, DC and Marvel. But I'm good that I'm glad that it did well.
TC.
I mean, I mean, honestly, Wonder Woman, it was an okay movie to me. I mean, I recently just went and saw it probably about 2 weeks ago. But to me, it was kind of that ending, that last ending fight, whatever, was kind of like over the top to me. But I mean, I can see the appeal of it. I understand there's Wonder Woman fans. I understand people love Wonder Woman on their forward. I mean, the storyline was good. It's just that the only thing I didn't like was that last fight where she fought Ares, and that was like way over the top to me, in my opinion.
Love. Oh, love.
You know,
it was all right.
Larry.
I thought it was a great movie. I thought to me it was the first movie from DC that was on point with a Marvel movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What?
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. It was stuff.
DC?
Yeah, DC. Yeah, yeah. It was a great movie. You know,
we know it's the birthday of the Comic Hall.
It was great. I can't take anything away from it. All I'm gonna say is, man, DC better go ahead and get the rest of the trash out of the way before May 18th next year.
Oh
Let's just be frank, man. Let's just be frank. There's no way we can expect Justice League to be on par with what if I mean, no way. I mean, that's like telling me to compare Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite with Dragon Ball Z. It ain't happening.
Not right now.
No.
Not right now.
No way, Jose.
Hey.
Now I will say this though. Like you said, we did say that this is the movie that was gonna make or break DC. And I'm gonna be honest, even though their movies were critically panned, all their movies did well financially.
Right.
And, you know, Batman vs Superman did what 800 or 900 million worldwide. So I mean,
163 the first weekend.
Yeah, none of them have done bad. So I mean, this was just the first one that critically took off as well. But it was a very well done movie. I think how they did the enemy was great. It kept you guessing through the movie.
Right.
I even liked the last fight sequence. I think it finally gave her power through the movie that she's supposed to show through the whole movie.
Look at TC.
I
think
mean,
what TC wanted to say was it was cheesy. He didn't like it. It was cheesy. That's what he wanted to say.
That's Wonder Woman. She's a goddess.
No. The whole power of love.
Oh.
Love.
Hey, man, Trevor. She had to, but I thought it was I kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy just a little bit better, but more I can see the overall appeal more of I can see the I can see the overall appeal of Wonder Woman a little bit more.
Who made Guardians of the Galaxy?
Hey, come on, man.
Who made it?
Guardians was a good movie.
Was it Marvel? Of course you liked it
It's
better.
Mary Poppins. That's what made me do it. Vince Boogie, your thoughts on Wonder Woman?
Well, yeah, I pretty much echo everything that everybody's been saying up to this point. I say for me, I agree to some degree with what TC said about the final act. I think the momentum that they had and they carried, and when they did the no man's land scene was like, I mean that's how the end of the movie should have felt.
Right,
I say for me, I mean
right,
I get why they did what they did and how they portrayed her, gained full ability to her powers because I mean at that point she didn't know what the hell she was. She didn't know. I mean she was just so naive to everything, but nobody told her
right.
up to that point. But that like, oh shit, I'm really a god. I'm a goddess up in here, and I'm fighting. Technically my brother right now, with the powers that she had in the movie, and it's well deserved. Me as a DC fan, I'm happy that they actually have a movie that's worth a damn outside of the Christopher Nolan
Right.
films that is like has already been said on par with a Marvel movie. I would say way better than several Marvel movies. Um, I mean, anybody can refute. I'm pretty sure they can say that Wonder Woman is way better than Iron Man. What 2, 3,
Three,
Oh,
Captain America number one,
Thor one.
any Thor movie up to this point. I mean, it's well deserved.
Forget the Hulk movie.
I agree with the fatigue with Spider-Man because we've seen it so many times. But I really do like the take on this Spider-Man and the story that they had laid out. So I'm not going to be harsh on that one, but Wonder Woman is well deserved to have been the best movie of the summer. First DC movie, kicked it out the park. First superhero lead with a all female with like producer and all other crap like that. So it's a pure feminist movie, but it's an overall great movie. I was excited about it way before it came to the theaters, just for the simple fact that I knew what it was supposed to represent for DC and what it was supposed to represent for little girls out there. Since I got a daughter, so I mean, she thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's all I really have to say about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and bow out because I got work early in the morning. So I appreciate the invite back on the show, bro. I'm happy that we made it to 1 year. Sorry I haven't been here every show, but military does a call. So, but here's to another year. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
All right, man. Good to see you, Vince.
Yeah, man. Likewise, man. Y'all be easy and collect safely.
Yes, sir.
Before you scoot, did you get any haul? Anything on the haul? Did you get a haul? Anything this week?
Well, I got like at least 8 or 9 books coming from Midtown, but then I got one from eBay that I'm.
Okay,
Me and you was talking about this when you called.
Yeah.
When I was talking about the whole Stan Lee situation,
Yeah.
It came through. So I'm gonna debut that one next time. When we on here though. So
all right.
Yeah, I got nothing right now.
All right, Vince. You have a good one, man.
I'm gonna let y'all.
All right, take it easy, sir.
Yeah, you too.
All right, Xavier, your thoughts on Wonder Woman, my man?
I mean, I'm DC aside. I mean, this movie was overall. I'm just saying,
That was talking about the eye roll, man.
this movie was good, man. I mean, I will agree with TC that the fight scene at the end was cheesy as all outdoors, but I get it. Her flower was bloomed because she finally got her first piece of manhood inside of her, and it unlocked all these untapped powers.
Did we really just go there?
But I mean, hey,
did we really just go there?
He did. Yes.
Hey, I'm just let's call a spade a spade. They danced, and then the door closed, and then all of a sudden, the power of love and sacrifice. And the man with the cop mustache, and I'm not gonna call him Aries, but I mean, it was good overall, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say the whole movie was bad because of that one part, but hey, it is definitely well received accolades that it's received so far. I mean, this movie, all in all, was good. I needed it as a DC fan. I'm gonna put DC back in just for 1 second, saying that we needed that to keep things afloat without having going in all that turmoil. But I mean, let's be real. It's a good movie overall, and it's probably gonna stay in the movie theater until the Blu-ray and the 4K come out with how much money it's making. And it's just showing DC overall. If you make a good movie with a
Mhm.
decent plot, you can have success. You know, and it's only one thing that Al said earlier that I would disagree with to a certain degree. I mean, the reshoots, yes, they're gonna put Wonder Woman in it more, but it wasn't because of how successful Wonder Woman was. It was because of the death in the family of Zack Schneider,
Oh yeah, that's
where
right.
Josh
That's
Whedon
right.
had to jump in.
That's right. My bad.
But
I stand
are
corrected.
you good? You were good. But here's one thing that I disagree with Matt. Yes, this Justice League movie may not be on par with the other Marvel movies and whatnot. But wait till the second one comes out when Josh Whedon has this, like, he is all in on this one. Because let's be real, the MCU was decent until the Avengers came out, and that's when it became great. And that was Josh Whedon's baby. So
X, you still got
get
the
it in
same
there.
problem with DC, man. And I want to say this, and I will say this earlier.
It's
Wonder
back,
Woman,
man. It's back,
Wonder
and
Woman
the
still get
battle is back between
Wonder
these
Woman
two.
still gives you the same issue. It gives you because DC is still a three-headed monster. That's all it is.
Doesn't matter.
Once you get past Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, what do you have? Aquaman is not going to generate interest.
I mean,
Who's
Green Lantern is not going
Superman?
to generate interest.
hold on. Because
Are you
first of
kidding
all,
me?
ain't nobody in this world gonna sit here and say that Iron Man would have brought people to the MCU like that. I mean, they made Iron Man more popular than what he is in the comic books, and it's because of these movies and getting Robert Downey Jr. to play
Did
him. I mean,
Iron Man have a cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
did he? Yeah. Did it? I didn't watch it.
A
Oh, y'all know you ain't talking about
firestorm,
that crap
man.
that was on Hulu and
No,
Netflix.
it was on. No, it came on Saturday morning.
The 90s one. I
Yeah.
am
I ain't,
Iron
I ain't,
Man.
I ain't
All
watched
I'm
that.
saying is
I ain't watched it.
Iron Man has been a part of culture before.
Yeah,
Whatever happened.
because a lot of people can relate to a drunken man. I mean,
Now,
hell.
what I will give you is nobody would have brought Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody would have thought Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah,
would.
I hated Guardians of the Galaxy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hated it until the movie came out. But I mean, if you all in all, let's be real though. Iron Man was out there, but he wasn't as popular as he is now because of the MCU.
No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? The books just started getting back good after Iron Man, the first Iron Man came out. I'm not even gonna put Iron Man 3 in there because that was the biggest
Right.
joke and piece of crap in the world. Um, but a lot of people like Captain America, but believe it or not, Captain America really wasn't. He didn't become relevant again until after he was brought into the MCU.
And I originally thought, and I said it on the show, I thought that Wonder Woman was going to suck because I thought it was going to be an origin story. But I have to eat my words. It was a real good movie. And part two, I think part two is going to pick up like almost like the Winter Soldier did.
I,
I mean, we
I'm
can
glad you said that.
get
I'm
the
so
story
glad
out
you
the
said
way.
that.
We can just get straight to
Right.
action.
I think it's going to go the same path as Captain
Yeah.
America, and it's just going to get better and better and better. I mean, if you think about it, when you look at, and I hate that Captain America, First Avenger, didn't get what I thought it deserved. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it, Wonder Woman is not that far different from the first Captain America movie, and they're gonna probably follow the same path. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of unfair on Chris Evans as Steve Rogers slash Captain America because they did basically the same movie just with a
Yeah.
woman instead of a guy. So I think that's unfair on him. But all in all, man, getting back to Wonder Woman, I think it's well deserved of everything that it has, and I'm
Two
kudos.
thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kudos.
All right. So we all know that Comic Con starts this week, and I just got one question. Antonio hadn't asked it. I know it's on his mind too.
Thomas
Where
Jane put it on
the
YouTube.
hell is the Punisher trailer? You talking about this Avengers stuff? You know, I've been seeing it on these groups, and I'm in a couple groups on Facebook, and I see, what, man? What, Avengers trailer, man? Avengers. Yeah, man, that's all good and well, man. But where's the Punisher?
He's coming,
Where's
man.
the Punisher? I
You
need
saw
the trailer, man.
you saw him at the end. You saw the new Defenders trailer, right?
That man knocking up Lori
Yeah.
again.
He's
I
at
saw
the
that.
end of that.
I know he's gonna be, but
But he's in. But he didn't just show up. He showed up in like full
Full gear. Yeah.
Punisher skull on chest, war paint gear.
I haven't
Ready to
seen
go.
it. Is it as
Oh, yeah.
cheesy It's not cheesy like Thomas James. Oh, I picked up a
No,
Skull T-shirt and then I ran with
no.
it.
Nah,
He's got like
It's not
it's the
spray painted
bulletproof
on like
vest.
Warzone, is it?
Yeah, I mean it's and he just walks in. He's just like, what he say? Like I showed up just in time.
I
So
mean, you know, don't get me wrong, fellas, and for those who are watching, you know, I'm excited for the Avengers, but I know we already know that, you know, it's just certain movies you already know, man. It's like, you know, it's like the same faith that Larry had with Logan. You just
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
it's you know, it's gonna be hard. Just nothing to worry about. Just
Let's
put
be
faith.
real. He was the only one that had faith in that
Yeah,
movie.
it ain't happening, man. It ain't happening.
He
But I
did.
got faith in Avengers Infinity War without even having to watch it. I cannot wait. You know, I know Defenders is coming next month. You know, we talked about this on the last episode, or at least I know we talked about it recently. Me and Al, I know. But I am equally as amped up for
Equally.
equally, excuse me, amped up for the Punisher. And I found out something last night, which is for those who are watching the show, they announced 2 new characters for Luke Cage. We have Bush, the Bushman,
Bushmaster.
Bushwhacker, the Bushmaster, yeah, the
Bushwhacker.
Bushmaster, the Bush, the Bushwhacker. So they're gonna have Bushmaster and Nightshade are gonna be on the show, and that's actually supposed to be in like February. I think it's been tossed around February for the next season of Luke Cage. So you're gonna get Luke Cage and the Punisher, right? Get the 1-2. So I
I
mean,
just need I need Luke Cage to keep the same musical score that they had in the first season.
and did y'all see
Right.
that Lucy Liu's gonna direct the first episode?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. But
So I mean,
I'm scared because they ain't gonna see eye to eye.
so you know,
Man,
yeah, I'm just waiting on this Punisher trailer, man. That's all I've been looking for, man. I've been like, look, you know, I'm trying to beat TC to it. That's how bad I want.
I need Daredevil or Punisher, man. This Luke Cage Iron Fist, man. It's kind of. I'm hoping that
Well,
they.
no, you can keep Iron Fist, man. And that, you
yeah,
talk. I mean,
yeah.
you talk to the biggest Iron Fist fan on this panel. But that right there, man, they need to shut that thing down and just, you know, they
Well,
need to reboot that
I'm hoping that the
whole thing.
defenders, man, can kind of. They know where they messed up with him, and I think they can kind of come back with it.
Did he learn how to fight?
I think he's going to in the defenders.
I don't, man. I need him
yeah, but
from the time that he started getting all this backlash about him being Danny Rand. He should have learned. He should have partnered up with Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, the Ghost of Ip Man, the Ghost of Bruce Lee, and train. He should have found Mr. Popo and all them and trained everywhere else and whoever. That dude is sorry.
TC.
I tried to get that man a green light.
I mean it's
Hey, man, X upset, man.
It's hot.
That shit was
Oh.
terrible.
this is what I'm gonna tell you, man. This is what I'm gonna tell you. It's coming. The Punisher trailer is coming. The Punisher, from what I've read, from what I even what from because they interviewed the director probably like a month ago, and he's telling everybody he's like it's not gonna be like every other Netflix show because there's nothing really like super powered wise or anything about the Punisher. He's just a regular guy, and they're gonna do a story behind pretty much like a regular guy, but he's gonna have all these weapons and everything else on there for it. But it's gonna be a different story, the way they're gonna handle the story on there. But I mean, it's as long as they got to do it right. They got to do it right.
We heard that with Iron Fist.
But Punisher, you don't have to worry about Punisher, man. You don't have to worry about that.
They got one thing right about Iron Fist. They said it's not gonna be like any other Marvel show that we put out.
That's true.
And they were absolutely right. That shit was garbage.
But I think with the actor himself, he knows that this, as far as for his career wise, this can't flop for him.
Bro, he needs.
Because I mean, if this flops, I mean, what else is he gonna go and do? What's he
Find
gonna
car
go
wash.
do? He can't go back to Walking Dead.
I was just gonna say them residuals from The Walking Dead are gone. He need this.
Yeah. So I mean, he knows he's done it. I mean, he's gone and read comics. He knows the character. He knows what he's supposed to do and everything else. So
He done bought
I mean,
the
I think he's
outfits.
gonna be one of those guys, kind of like Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool, that he's gonna make this character in this show work and work right. That's what I believe.
Well, like Matt said, you ain't got to worry about the Punisher, man. You got a
Right.
dude that's got a bunch of guns and a high body count. You really can't. You can't
Right.
go wrong with that.
I can tell you the plot of every episode. Somebody dying.
Nah.
Yeah. Somebody getting their ass hit or they die. So it's one of the two.
Yeah, I can put it like this. He might wear ass whooping, but they gonna die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It means really nothing else that can't be said that hadn't already been said. I think old boy Finn Jones need to find Billy Blanks and
That typo.
Superfoot Wallace and maybe even Ricky Steamboat. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Hip Hop Keto.
yeah, something. Run the Gracies. Somebody.
Ken Shamrock.
And you know, Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock, don't matter. Shoot, even Tank Abbott. Learn how to fight. I thought personally, man, I tried to give that show an opportunity, man, but I'd have to say, man, that show was whack. And to be honest with you, it wasn't the show as a whole, it was him. Because his supporting cast now, he had a nice supporting cast. Especially the girl. Now, I was really impressed with the girl that played Colleen Wing. She really put her heart into that particular role. And then the brother, I can't remember his name because it's been so long because I ain't watched like 6 episodes. But I tried to give it the opportunity that I gave all the other Netflix shows. I'm with Larry. That devil, man. Luke Cage was good to me. That devil, man, was that methamphetamine. So, you know, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Now, I'm hoping that they can bring Danny Rand's character to snuff with the Defenders. Because, you know, I would hate to see them change actors for that particular role. But out of all, no, but I'm just saying, I got to give a cat a chance. He was on Game of Thrones, wasn't he? Or was it Walking Dead?
Yeah, he was on Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Then he died.
Yeah, he died. Well, I understand he died.
They killed him off because he couldn't act.
Okay, well, they might kill him off on Iron Fist because he can't fight. But
that's what I need. I need that.
You know what? I think this will be the apropos thing for Marvel to do. I think the second season of that show, what they need to do is bring your boy in, Matt, the master of Kung Fu, and have him spar. Right, either teach him how to fight or spar with him, and that way they could actually bring in another Marvel character with the master Kung Fu, have them set up as partners or something. The Heroes for Hire, you know, bit, just add, you know, Shang-Chi in the mix. You know,
you better do it quick, man, because the Steel Serpent gonna whip his ass in that second season.
Well,
hey, man, when the Night Nurse fight better than you, something wrong.
Maybe it's the director, man. Ben Affleck had a hard time in Daredevil, but clearly we saw an improvement by Batman. Give a man a chance. Maybe he needs some direction.
Hey, man, Ben Affleck had decades to get right.
Well, the quote Ivan Drago, one of TC's favorite people.
He dies.
If he dies, he dies. And that's pretty much it.
Well, we'll stay on this since we'll pretty much transition to it. We'll stay on this as TC alluded earlier in the segment. The Defenders trailers dropped today, and we all saw, and what those who have watched have seen in the trailer. A lot of people, Defenders crept up on a lot of people because a lot of people, you know, we got movies this summer, so it kind of shortened everything. What is it? Like 3-4 weeks for Defenders to be coming out. So, how many episodes, Tony? What, 6, 7,
8?
I think they said 7.
Okay, 7.
Garbage.
I thought
Well, I mean, that's better than Castlevania. I mean, that's for those who are watching Castlevania on Netflix. That's better than that.
Well, that's super garbage.
I mean, the show is supposed to take place over
was that Stan Lee in the trailer?
Like a 2-day time period in the show.
He's narrating.
So it's not gonna be like a real long show at all. It's supposed to take place time wise. It's supposed to just be like 2 days time.
The Defenders?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a bridge show. It's a show that pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's trying to hold you over to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for. I'm not even, I'm excited. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all comic collectors out there watching this, uh, don't go out there trying to get Defenders #1, man, because this here, man. It has nothing to do with that Defenders. So
Nope.
you got a lot of people jacking up the Defenders #1, and those characters are not even. Now, if you're gonna go get the Defenders, then you would need to get the
The
modern,
current
the
Defenders,
one that
yeah.
just came out a couple of weeks ago. That's the Defenders #1 you need to go get. Don't go run and get the Bronze Age Defenders #1 because the show's out, and then get on eBay and jack it up $1,000. You're not
No.
gonna make that money. So, just word of caution for those who are watching that collect. Uh, Al, thoughts on the Defender?
Well, I think it's gonna be all right. Hopefully, I think to quote that game show, I think Iron Fist is the weakest link. Um,
And that's saying something when you got Jessica Jones there.
Man, what you talking about,
but
man?
but I'm saying if you look at Jessica Jones, man, in correlation to Iron Fist, I would say of the four shows, her story was the slowest of all four. But at the end of the show, at towards the end of the show, it actually got better. And,
Mhm.
and that in itself it puts it above Iron Fist.
We're not disagreeing with you at all.
No, I
So I
like
mean,
Jessica Jones. I just
Jessica
think you got a
Jones.
woman on there, and Iron Fist is the weakest link.
But what I'm saying, aside from the soft porn elements of Jessica Jones, it was a pretty good show.
Get them
I
out.
mean, it was a pretty good show. I mean, really, it was. Purple Man was ruthless.
Yeah.
That dude was. I mean, they had a really good villain for that show, and they played it out. I like
Mhm.
the way they used Luke Cage in the show, which segue into his show. I mean, it was a good show. I mean,
Right.
in ranks of the shows, I'm gonna say Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and the fighting dude,
And him. Don't
the
say
other
fight.
dude, him.
Don't
We
don't
can't even
display
say him
fighting
because
like
that's
that.
Adam Warlock. We're gonna just say that dude. So
That
I
guy.
mean, yeah, him. But I mean, as far as it goes, I think Defenders is going to be pretty good because you got a pretty decent cast. Personally, I mean, I don't like the actual lineup because it's just to me, okay, it just doesn't. To me, that group doesn't gel together, in
Right.
my honest opinion. I mean, as far from a comic book standpoint, but I mean, it's Marvel, and then of course, anything that they do, they're gonna try to work some stuff out, to see if it stick to the wall. I don't personally see the comic book going further than 10 issues, but hey, that's me. But I think hopefully in this particular situation, the Defenders is a much better show than that dude show. You know,
All right.
The
And
man
we'll
with
go
the
ahead.
glowing hands.
right?
Rapid reactions, fella. Larry, your thoughts on the Defenders?
Oh man, Defenders. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Uh, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. To me, they're gonna make the show. Uh, Especially if they have any other guest appearances from either one of those particular shows. I think it ought to be all right. Like TC said, you got the Punisher creeping up in there at some point. So Iron Fist aside, I think it's gonna be okay. And I think they're gonna help him out too. Because I think by giving him some other people to work off of, I think it's gonna help him too.
They better
All
set
right.
his ass on fire.
Golly.
Shoot, no.
I mean, you got that kind of you got that kind of hatred. I'm disappointed with the show, man. But he has that kind of hatred I have for John Cena right now.
Hold up, that ain't hatred. That's vitriol. That's what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's on a whole nother level.
Man.
All right. Any thoughts on the Defenders outside of Iron Fist?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm really looking forward to the show. I think it's gonna be good. I'm really hoping and praying that he took it serious and went and did some training so he at least looked like he can fight. You know, because that was the whole issue with Iron Fist. I mean, he everybody else could fight, even the kids that were in training to be in the hand fought better than him. I just need somebody that look like they know what they're doing. I mean, you're an actor, at least fake it good, you know. But I mean, all in all, I'm thinking that it's gonna be good. I'm glad they added the Punisher. I think with them adding the Punisher, that's trying to take the spotlight away from him being so bad. To be honest with you, and it could possibly lead into Iron Fist going out of the Defenders and Punisher coming in into the second season. That's just my thought looking at it.
Uh,
I'm just saying
Try to get rid of it.
they I mean,
Great.
think about it. They hid the Punisher being a part of the Defenders up until today.
Yeah.
So they've been thinking long and hard about this since Iron Fist. So I mean, why not do it like that? At least it'll keep them around much longer, and they can fill up that spot with something else. I mean, they already talking about other Marvel shows that they want to do. I know that's your boy outside of the show, but bump it to the side or bring in somebody else, or just say, hey man, season one was a dream. This is the real Danny Rand. You know what I'm saying?
Dream.
All right. Well, if y'all can look down at the lower third, breaking news. Breaking news. Not sure if Antonio has seen this, but tonight at Comic Con, it was confirmed that Noah Harley is developing a Doctor Doom movie. Now, Antonio, me and you we talked about this. You saw it. You saw it. You saw it. You saw it. You just shut it up. Now, TC, you asked what doctor. You talk this up. You know, I've been doing good, not cursing on the show for the last 7 months, 6 months. So I'm taking great pride in that. But you talk this crap up, Antonio Cole. You asked for Doctor Doom where he was at. Now you got it. What is this with these people developing villain movies? No, you won't, Al. You're lying.
Yeah.
They're developing these villain movies, with giving them solo movies. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Larry, the voice of reason on the panel. Surely you can explain this.
Doctor Doom, there's no way to explain that. I mean, you got a decent character, man, but you have to at least work him through a superhero movie or something. You can't just come out with a Doctor Doom movie and expect that to fly. I mean, it's got to be, I'm talking about off the charts for it to make money.
Fox and Sony done lost their mind. You didn't get them right the first couple times you had them on screen. Same thing with Venom, and now you want to do a solo movie with them? I can't bet that.
I think it's gonna transform before it's all over.
There's a couple of characters that it can be done with. Doctor Doom is not one of those characters it can be done with as far as a solo movie for a villain. I mean, if you did a character like Magneto,
exactly.
As a solo movie, like an origin story to him, that could be done. But Doctor Doom, no, it can't be done.
He has some redeeming qualities like Magneto, but they don't explore him enough. Like what he's doing now.
Yeah.
You know, he done flipped a couple of times too, but at the same time, nobody's actually inquires about him enough on a mainstream level to actually want to show interest in that.
Well, you know what, man, and you know, Tony, you brought this up with me talking in private there a while back. You know, you can take Doctor Doom. Let's just, you know, we're all, you know, I would say scholars of comics. You could take Doctor Doom and put him in an Iron Man movie.
Exactly.
Just as fine.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily have to put him in a fantastic. You know, people peg him with Fantastic Four because you know he debuted in Fantastic Four. But as Larry said, you don't have to put him by himself. You can put him. He's fought just about every major Marvel superhero. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he's fought Spider-Man. I can't tell you how many times he went against the Avengers. I can't, you know, even the X-Men have fought Doctor Doom. You can put Doctor Doom, personally, I would think you could put him in an Iron Man movie, and it all would be well. I mean, you can even do a damn origin in the Iron Man movie and just start from scratch in that, and it would be
that would actually be perfect right now because of what's going on in the comics. That would actually tie in, you know, because he got the iron. I mean, he's got the armor right now.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, you could easily, you know, do something like that. I don't understand. I really don't understand. You know, I have my quarrels with the Venom movie. I mean, with where they're going with that, you know, we'll say that
got the right actor to play him.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, that's like talking about Buffalo Bill. I mean, there's so much wrong with that we can be on that a whole nother hour. But really, man, you know, I just don't understand. And it's like, you know, when they're just trying to put out stuff just to keep the rights. And that's when you do that, man, that's when you dilute the product. and that's not fair to folks that are fans. And I know life's not fair, but it's not fair to people who really like characters like that. I mean, Doctor Doom is a major. Doctor
Character.
Doom is like one of my major Marvel villains. I mean, he's like in the top 10 of my most famous villains. I'm like, really?
And for Marvel to be struggling with their villains in the MCU, why even waste him like that? Put him in something in the MCU. You know, and that ain't no knock on Marvel, but to me, with the exception of Loki and now the Vulture, the other villains were mediocre at best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why not bring him in and have that dominant villain that they've been dying to have?
I mean, at this point, man, we know Thanos is only going to be around for a couple of movies. So, just maybe, we don't know, maybe even one. But, I mean, just you could do so many things with Doctor Doom. I mean, you could put him in a movie.
You could actually do Doctor Doom like they just did Thanos for the next phase. You could take him and build it up so that he was
Snippets.
you could build him up that he was the big bad in the end. But I don't see a solo project from him. And I just don't see that. I don't even know how you could really flesh that out. Like how do you start? How do you even start that movie?
I mean, that's like coming out with a You God album, man. I mean, it's like You God solo project, man. I mean, who bought that? Somebody gave it to me. I mean, really, man.
I mean, wait a minute. The director is the same dude that did Legion, so.
Oh my God.
The expectation.
Oh my God.
It's in the toilet.
It's really low.
You know what, man?
Same director did Legion.
Hey man, what's the next topic, man?
Yeah.
I want to hear Al rant. I want to hear Al rant because he shut it off. I want to hear Al rant. Go ahead, let it go.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say too much, man. That's stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. Words can't even express the fact that, I mean, and you pointed it out, man. I mean, at the end of the day, and it's the same thing with Sony and the Venom movie. I honestly don't believe in my heart of hearts that Sony has the intent on producing a top quality Venom movie. I honestly do not believe that. I honestly don't believe that Fox has the intention on doing a stand-up Doctor Doom movie. And going back to what Larry just said, it behooves me to figure out why would they decide to do a solo Doctor Doom movie? Because if you look at the bigger scheme of things, especially in the landscape of Marvel over the last 2 years, and Larry could attest to this, Doctor Doom has been heavily involved in a lot of the storylines that dealt with the overall Marvel universe. You're limiting yourself as Doctor Doom being in a solo movie with just whatever properties that they have regarding the Fantastic Four. To be honest with you, aside from Mole Man and Annihilus, and I can't even think of any other character specific characters for the Fantastic Four, I just don't see a movie like that being successful. I don't see a movie like that being in a position to where, oh my God, Doctor Doom just broke $500 million in the box office. I don't see that happening. That's just, to me, in my humble opinion, a means for Fox to try to hold on to the Fantastic Four properties for as long as they can. Case in point, there's a rumor going around, since we're talking about Fantastic Four related stuff, that they are going to reboot the Fantastic Four franchise yet again, but it's supposed to be a kids movie. When will you give it up? You've already done 3 Fantastic Four movies. The last one was Abomination. It was a disgrace to cinema in general. The first 2 were mediocre at best. Galactus as a Cloud was just as bad as Parallax in Green Lantern movie.
And I said that at work the other day. I was talking about that at work. God, that was bad.
Give it up. It comes a point in time to where you have to say, okay, this is not working for us. We still have the X-Men, so we still gonna run that into the ground. So what we need to do is try to make something work. And then, it would be nice if these movie companies, if Sony, if Fox would do the same thing that Sony did. I think it would be more lucrative for them in the long run because it opens up the avenue for the Fantastic Four to be in a movie where they can fight alongside the Avengers, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Wolverine. But it makes no sense to actually announce that you are doing a Doctor Doom movie when your Fantastic Four movies were garbage.
So, right.
It makes no sense. I can see if those movies were critically successful, if they were successful in the box office. I'm gonna go country on y'all. Now one of them movies was to a point to where it was like, oh my God, I gotta go see this again. Maybe to a 6-year-old kid that didn't know any better, or for somebody that just was a casual moviegoer. Even casual moviegoers did not like these movies. So why in the bleep are you doing a Doctor Doom movie for no apparent reason, but just to keep the property? That's I'm done.
Well, there's another rumor out there. There's another rumor that the CEO of Marvel, the billionaire that used to own the company, stepped down. Yeah. And so they were saying that the new guy that's stepping in is doing everything he can to go back on everything that this guy was doing, like so-called taking the characters out of video games and movies, just because of the movie rights. So they say he trying to double back now and go back and kind of put stuff right. But I don't think a Doctor Doom solo movie is the way to do it.
That ain't the business, man. That is not the business. And for Marvel and for Fox to sit there and think, y'all got to understand this and think about this. You had a board of directors. You had somebody had to pitch this idea to them. You had a board of directors that sat and somebody pitched the idea of a Doctor Doom movie, knowing that the last few Fantastic Four movies that you came out with was purely old garbage. Somebody sat in a boardroom, probably eating Chick-fil-A, drinking lemonade, eating the brownies from Chick-fil-A. They sat there for 30, 45 minutes, and they said, you know what, Biff? Our idea is so great. We're going to go ahead and greenlight this Doctor Doom movie. Why? That does not, fathomably, it does not make sense from a financial standpoint, from a story standpoint. I don't get it.
I don't see it making it.
I don't get it.
I think this is tentative. I don't see it making it.
I don't get it.
I mean, y'all see my face reaction to it.
What I don't get though, I don't get why it took Sony this long to decide to partner up with Marvel, and why Fox hasn't got on board when Paramount was the first to do it with the Hulk.
I'm gonna tell you why.
They paved the way.
I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why is that when back in the days, Marvel was going through some financial turmoil, right?
Right.
So they were on the verge of going bankrupt. So what they decided to do, okay, we're not really doing anything with these characters aside from just making comic books. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and just whatever we can actually license out, we're going to license it out and help bring a little money into the fold. So, of course, Spider-Man, Sony got Spider-Man and all his his villain, Rose Galleon's characters or whatnot. Fox got Fantastic Four. They got the X-Men. Universal got the Incredible Hulk. Blade was licensed out to New Line Cinema. Submariner was licensed out to Universal, even though the rights have reverted back to Marvel. Ghost Rider, I think, was New Line Cinema as well. So a lot of those properties had been pretty much rented out or licensed out because Marvel needed that extra money. Now you're gonna fast forward to 2008, 2009. Marvel movies started bringing everything out. And I actually consider the Incredible Hulk as being part of the boom that started, because I don't care what nobody say.
Incredible Hulk was the first one. Yeah.
That was a good movie. Even though that movie was good.
The first one?
No, the Incredible Hulk, not the Hulk.
Oh man, I was about to go into conniptions.
No, you about to
Okay.
for no particular reason.
That emoji.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Incredible Hulk. The other Hulk when he
Okay.
punched
All right.
the dog in the balls, that was pathetic. And he did do that in that movie.
Yeah,
Go
he
back.
did.
He punched the dog in the ball.
He
But
killed the
anyway,
other dog with his shoulder blade.
excuse me for our viewers for me saying the word balls. He punched the dog in the scrotum, in the
The
fellow
gonads.
testicles.
We might well go
Okay,
back to Lou Ferrigno.
right. But so fast forward. So basically, you're looking at a situation now where Marvel is in desperate need of a lot of their characters, but they can't get them because you have Fox. They ain't going. The X-Men ain't going nowhere no time soon. They're gonna go through every rogue in the X-Men mythos, which they have a lot. They're doing that old god awful new music, which I think that's gonna be a garbage movie too.
Come out the horror movie.
No, yes, we ain't talking about
In the
that. Well, let me
TV
stay
show,
on topic.
in the Gifted, in the Gifted.
In the Gifted TV show, okay, so Fox is pretty much planting all their seeds because they do not want to let the X-Men go. And I can understand that because the X-Men, if done right, could be a lucrative property. Fantastic Four, and not so much. Rogues Gallery for the Fantastic Four, most of their rogues are shared by other characters.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Submariner is probably one of their biggest foils, but Marvel has the rights to the Submariner. So when you're looking at this situation, man, Sony got to the point where after Amazing Spider-Man 2 bombed, we need to do something. Here come Marvel knocking on the door. Hey, let us help you make this movie.
Let me
Okay.
show you how to do this.
And that's what happened. And of course, Spider-Man Homecoming has been a critical success, even though it fell off in the box office. It still was a successful movie. Fox is not going to do that at this particular point because they're trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. They're not going to do it. That's the reason why we're going to see a Doctor Doom movie, and Mole Man is going to be his accomplice in that movie. That's the reason why. At the end of the day, and I'm done, that is a dumb move. I believe Larry is correct, saying it's probably not going to get past production. If it gets past production, it's gonna be a critical flop.
Who gonna sit down and try to write that movie?
The same person that tried to write that last Fantastic Four
Stevie
movie
Wonder.
The Fantastic
He
Four.
misses Stevie Wonder.
with the black Human Torch. The same person that wrote that movie.
You know,
The Black Human Torch is in Black Panther.
hey,
Right.
you know what though? If you want your career to jump off, hey, you might want to be in a Fantastic Four movie.
Right.
And go to another
Go
Marvel
to
movie.
a movie. Yep.
Right.
Hurry up and get out of there.
I mean,
You
look
know
at Chris
what?
Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans, you're right.
Chris Evans was the best thing in both of the original Fantastic
Fantastic
Four
Four
movies, and now he's Steve Rogers. I mean, hey,
Hey, well,
But let me say this one thing, man, and I'm done.
okay.
As far as those Fantastic Four movies, I'm gonna tell you what would have made that movie a lot better. For one, if
somebody
they had a
Jessica Alba.
well, yeah. But aside from Jessica Alba, I think if they had number one, they had a better script because they actually had the tools that they needed in order to be a successful movie. Doctor Doom is one of the most complex Marvel characters there is as far as villainy is concerned because of his background, his education, his knowledge in technology and sorcery and all this kind of stuff. It had a better script, and they would have used CGI for the thing. I think that movie would have been better, and another person to play Invisible Girl.
Well, Sony is notorious for bad scripts because once again, Daredevil was the same. I think their casting could have been a little bit better, but I think honestly, if you had
a
it,
lot better.
you're right. You see what they did with the TV show, so it's not the character, it's the script.
I think the director letting these people act bad on screen is the problem.
They try to sabotage.
Man, I hate to say I don't hate to say it. Jessica Alba was terrible in that movie. I'm sorry. The Thing, I agree, he should have been CGI, but at least the actor that was playing him is a good actor.
Right,
you know.
Of course,
I actually like the dude that played Reed Richards. I mean, he was a quirky dude, so he fit right in. I think they should have got somebody else besides Nip Tuck to play Doctor Doom. And
yeah.
the way they destroyed Silver Surfer, which he was decent for what he did, but as the movie got on in the second one, he just got worse and worse and worse. So,
The only thing the Silver Surfer was good for, man, was selling HD TVs at that point.
Right.
Let's move on. Man. Jesus Christ. All right, y'all. It's time for our. On that note, man, it's time for our comment hall. And Larry, we're gonna let you do the honors tonight, man. No, oh,
Ain't got.
oh,
Oh, he
1 year
got
birthday
Oh
cake.
no,
fresh,
man.
fresh, fresh out the
Oh
bag.
yeah,
Look
man.
at
You
it.
know what? That's just because I had to rush to get home, man. To get
I
here,
didn't hear him crack the seal earlier.
man. Stop. Man, don't
Somebody
see
was
it. Crack.
vacuum seal. This
It's
thing.
about 9 of the same comic, just in different variants.
Mm.
And what you got? Astonishing X-Men. That's the
We got
regular
20
cover,
different titles.
I
right?
heard that's a good read, by the way, Larry.
Oh
I
yeah,
heard that.
Professor Xavier back.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And then you got the villain cover for Astonishing X-Men with the Shadow King on the front.
They
Okay.
had
Who
the,
is going to be the
they had the
villain
tie-in
in the next
Legion.
season of Legion? He's going to be
They
the
had
next
the
villain.
tie. He was the villain in this one the whole
Oh,
time.
okay. Well, see, I didn't watch it. I didn't know. So,
Then
It was
you got
bad.
the other Astonishing X-Men variant with Psylocke and Phantom X. You
Did you
got
get the trading card cover?
yeah, of course. Then you got the big boy cover with Wolverine slashing to his old uniform. Then you got the Psylocke cover. Yeah, it's right. It's quite a few of them. Then totally awesome Hulk with the adamantium skeleton on the front. This one of what X was talking about. Mighty Thor with one of the Jim Lee trading cards.
I
This
still
one
got it.
this one for you, Al. Invincible Iron Man with Colossus on the front.
Yes.
Yep. Let's see. I think it's some more here. Oh yeah. This Mr. Sinister trading card variant.
That's dope.
Well, let me ask you this: did they do an Evil Knievel variant? That's what I want to know.
Hey, look, I only got like 6 out of the 20 that they got.
God.
I got a Virgin Psylocke variant on the way from Midtown. Yeah, so it's quite a few. Then, of course, Secret Empire #6.
Mm, that's a good story, y'all.
Yep. And then I got the tie-ins, the U.S. Avengers.
All 30 of them.
Right. Look, Secret Empire, Brave New World #4.
Jesus.
X-Men
Secret,
Gold. The Execution
That's
of
a dope
Comeback.
cover.
Secret Empire Evil Knievel version.
The Invincible Iron Man #9. Got to keep up with Riri. See what she doing. Doctor Strange. Tie-in Secret Empire. And Deadpool Heals the Marvel Universe #2.
Again.
Again, yeah.
Again.
And that's it for me for today.
you got that variant from last week, Larry?
Which one you talking about?
The one that you got that I brought you Friday.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Because I don't know what my hold on. Let me see. I think mine might be in this. It's up, guys.
Oh that's over there. That's in the that's top loaded. That's over there on the
Yeah, I think mine. No, I got mine. I got mine. Sure.
You talking about the edge of
Yeah.
gotcha.
The baddest cover. The baddest cover in the world. All right. Al. No, Xavier, do you have anything in your haul? You know nothing this week? Okay, all right. Al, what do you have, my friend? The mic is off. There we go.
I got a few things. I picked up a whole bunch of stuff over the last few weeks, but I'm just gonna go over a couple of the new books that I picked up, and I'm gonna start with those first. So I got 7 to Eternity #7.
Yeah, image book.
Yeah, man, it's a good read too, man. For real, man. Green Arrow 27. Green Lanterns 27. Secret Empire #6. I got Flash 27 last week. Went to Bungie today, and I picked up a miniseries out the Dollar Bin. Never heard of it, but I thought it would be interesting to read. Apocalypse versus Dracula.
Wow. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So there was you said what now? What'd you say, X?
I said I've heard of that.
Yeah, so it was in the Dollar Bin, so I figured I'd pick it up. Went to this one place called Hobbit hole and this, But anyway, they did that I got is Shadow Cabinet #1. There was a milestone book. The people that created Icon, Static Shock, Blood Syndicate, they've actually assimilated them into the DC universe. Has a possibility they might be getting their own series in Rebirth. It's not really set in stone yet. Going to some of my stuff, eBay pulls. Matt has gotten me on this slab thing, so I picked up a couple of slabs. Now this one was posted in the group, and I jumped on it. Mark Ross one, got that. Since nobody else decided to get it, then I got this right here, which is Astonishing Tales 29. It's the first appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm a huge fan of the old team, the team that was actually at the end of the second movie. I collected their books in the 90s. Some eBay finds, not eBay finds, but actually some Facebook finds. I got Strange Tales 169.
Voodoo.
I said, man.
Brother Voodoo.
First appearance of Brother Voodoo. I got this off of Facebook through one of the sites. Firestorm #1. It's one of my grails, so you can get that one slabbed. Pick this one up off of eBay. Strange Tales 157. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier, as far as collecting comics. Basically, looking for certain things that haven't been revealed in reference to like future projects. The significance of this particular book here is that this is the first appearance of the Living Tribunal. So that's where the Living Tribunal comes from. So he plays a big role in a lot of the Marvel movies, which is supposedly rumored that he might show up at some point in all this whole Infinity War stuff. So that's the reason why I went and picked this up. All right. Last but not least, have these in my possession. Yes. Have these in my possession.
Give me a Paul Bearer. Give me a Paul Bearer.
Oh, Undertaker! Why do you look at him that way? Kane is not your brother. Oh, but anyway, okay. So I got these two. Thanks to Will from Comics Plus. I got X-Men 101. Finally got it. First appearance of Phoenix. X-Men book, right. And the Coup de Grace, which is now the oldest comic book in my collection. Oldest comic book in my collection.
Bring it up slow, man. Bring it up slow.
I'm gonna bring it up slow. Everybody knows that watch this show knows that I have a goal of completing my X-Men run from #1 all the way to issue 544. I'm 120 issues shy of that goal. And this particular book gets me closer to the goal of getting some of my earlier books. Ladies and gentlemen, X-Men #2.
Yeah, that's good condition too, boy.
Good condition, sir, and I got it for a really good price. This is #2. So the only other book that comes before this one is X-Men #1. This book was printed in 1960 and something. 63. So this is the oldest book in my collection at this point. So 120, 121, 122 books shy of having the full first run of X-Men.
All right, man. Congratulations on that
one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, last. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. I'm going to go ahead and go next. We're going to come right out the gate, man, with the Edge of Venomverse variant. Let me cut my light off here. There you go. Here, look at this here.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Daredevil.
Yeah, the Daredevil Electra variant, Venomized. This is one of my favorite covers of the year so far. That one. Picked up Ninja Turtles #5. I have officially but I'm missing one more book, and that's #2 first print. But I've got everything else 1 through 10. It's #2. first print right here. So with Ninja Turtles. So that completes my goal of that. Was in the store with Will and ran across the infamous Bush She-Hulk cover, which is actually her special move in Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever the third one was. It's the one that they
Marvel Capcom 3.
Yeah. Picked this up today. Well, I got two. I got to put two in one. But I picked this up today.
Yeah, Will. Oh no, Will tell me about the other one you got.
Yeah, the Gasolina #1, man. I read this. This is a damn good read, man. This is probably outside of the books I read. I mean, this is like right behind Red Man. This is basically about a couple who runs into a cartel that does demonic shit to whoever they run into. It's really good, man. You should check it out, man. And it's exploding on eBay.
That sounds like TV show material all day long.
I mean, it's a really good read, man. But it goes back to what Al said. Image puts out a lot of, it's putting out a lot of good reads right now, man. And it's just good material. Now in the back, I've got the
yes, it is.
DuckTales #0, and I bought this, man. One, I'm a DuckTales fan. Two, the artwork. I like the new style. It's really kiddie, and it's a 0, which means that it's probably going to be 1 or 10 variants. So, did you happen to pick it up? Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it, man. Will would tell me, he said that was the he said that book was the best selling book this week.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really. I mean, just really that DuckTales show. I think is going to be really popular.
Hey man, was that an IDW book?
Yeah.
Okay.
He still got a couple of copies of it still. It's kind of on the radar.
Okay.
Yeah, he got 2 left. One of each cover.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you might want to inbox him on Facebook and tell him that you can hold it for you.
All right, we'll do.
Rebirth 25 Wonder Woman. This cover is hot. I mean, this is just simply, man, just because it's a nice cover of Wonder Woman. The value on this has went up. I'm not sure if it's I think it's in the $10 range or maybe $8. But this is going to be a cover down the line that's going to be pretty.
Is that the one Will got on the wall? Then Will have one on the wall next to the Flash. Or is that a different?
That might be a different. Unless he's updated since I was in there. Kudos to each year one of us finds what we call a steal of the year. Last year was Weldon. Weldon got us the Hulk #1. Well, this year's award goes to Larry for the all new Wolverine #2 variant. That's currently going for $164 on eBay, and I paid, as y'all can see here, right there, $20. Just sitting there up in Atlanta. Thank you, T House Comics. I appreciate it. We'll have Batman, number 423, Todd McFarlane's first Batman.
I almost thought that was Azrael because he coming back.
Yeah, it's just like in the mold of Azrael.
and he's coming back in the modified bat suit.
Yeah.
Just get broke down again.
Spider-Man 178, just the little Silver Age Spider-Man. Went up to Bungie. They have half off Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the whole month of July up at Bungie. Got this fella. I think I wound up paying $5 for it, something like that.
What book is that?
It's not the X-Men #9. That's when it's funny, man, how they used to do some of these books back in the day. X-Men #9 was this actual issue, but they re-released it again when they did the King Size Special #1. Because I was thinking in my head, I'm thinking X-Men #9, so that's why I picked it up. But I mean, I'm still satisfied because it's still in good condition. I mean, look, you can't see the spine too well, but I mean, that's just a really good book, in these these king size books, man, it's hard to find the spine that's in good shape. They usually all chipped up and tore up. This for Bro Man Coleman. I've got the entire run. I've got the entire collection of Punisher comics #1. The only one I'm missing is the Marvel Now series. I got all of the #1s.
Bruh, if he shoot who he trying to shoot with that, what he got in his hand, bruh.
I mean, that's the Justin Hammer shit.
It's a wrap.
That's why the show can't go wrong right there, because he gonna pull out something like that.
We
Amazing Spider-Man 410, the Spider Carnage. You know, I figured with the Venomized variants, I might as well go snag a Carnage variant because that's coming. And for those who like Sexy Street Fighter, I got Sexy Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers. This is the pillow fight variant. That is pretty hard to come by.
Your guilty pleasures.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 151. I got this.
Nice cover.
I think I got this with you, Larry. This is actually one of my favorite Spider-Man covers.
Yeah, it's nice cover.
Yes, that first appearance of Mary Jane on the cover. This is a 59. So you know these Spider-Man books. If you're collecting, man, Spider-Man books are still relatively. You can get your hands on. You just have to kind of be careful. This is one I was with Al earlier this week. He picked up one. Surprised you didn't show it tonight, but he picked up the other variant. Excuse me. He picked up the other variant of this particular book, but I've got the Romita Jr. version, and this is the Superman 33. The significance of this is that this is when Superman gets his new power. So that's a pretty nice cover.
What other power can he get?
You got every power that it
That's
is.
the nuclear power.
Solar
Everything.
flare, that's what he had.
Solar flare, yeah.
He stole it from TN.
X-Men number 49. I got this from Bungie, and I actually paid I think like $15 for it with that half off deal. Something like that. But I mean, it's anything on 100 for X-Men. I mean, you need to be trying to grab it if you can. I mean, 101 with the exception of 101. And of course, we showed y'all earlier back this week. Ninja Turtles number 1. First appearance of Jon Stewart. Let's see, Green Lantern. I stole this from Bungie. This is one of my steals of the year. This book is going for like I've seen $300, $400, $500. They had it for $100. I heard up and told them to take it off the wall and get it before they realized it. Got it. By the time they realized that I was down Jonesboro Road. Xavier, this one's for you. I got this up at Tea House Comics. This is Batman, the Sign of the Joker. So I got that, man, just based off of the cover. I mean, this is the classic cover. More Batman and the Joker. This is Batman 366. And this is one of the iconic Batman covers in the series. Rounding it down. Amazing Spider-Man.
There you go.
316. Under those under the sign of my voice, you need to go buy this book.
You know what though? I was doing research on that book, man, and they were saying that 315 was technically, it's almost like I guess the whole Wolverine thing. Cause they were saying technically 315 is what they consider the first appearance. Just like 180, I guess technically is the first Wolverine appearance. But they really don't classify it as that.
Right? 300 is just the suit. Venom is the suit, right? It's not actually Venom. Am I correct?
Right.
Larry?
Yeah, you right on that.
Okay.
315 though, 315 actually Eddie Brock actually has the suit though. I mean it actually goes to Eddie Brock in 315. It's just 316 I guess is the first full first full.
Well it's what I call a double whammy, man. I mean you got him and you got Todd McFarlane drawing. So I mean you can't I mean that's the win. All right. And so I want to thank Al for what I'm about to show y'all now. Al, he convinced me to pick these up, so I went ahead and got on. So we'll start off with this right here. I went ahead and got my Miss Marvel on out the way.
Okay.
Got that out the way.
Is she coming?
Oh, don't worry. I covered all my bases. Miss Marvel 14.
Yeah, she coming.
First appearance, Kamala Khan. Got that out the way. And I got the Miss Marvel #1 variant. Yep. Wasted no time. Got him. And this was one I actually was trying to get when it came out, but I got the other version. So I got this. I got the slab. And last but not least, my steal of the week goes to Spectacular Spider-Man #2. This is the John Romita cover. This is this is an homage to this is a classic Spider-Man cover. Probably one of my favorite Spider-Man covers.
You hold on.
There
You
you
remember
go.
you remember what I was just telling you about that, man?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh snap!
Look at the homage cover, man. Yes. So awesome, man. So that is everything from your boy. That is it. Antonio, you closing us out tonight, my man.
All right, I just got a couple, man. You know, a few things I've been trying to get a hold of that I finally got my hands on. I picked up the Black Panther #1.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got that one. That's the same. Yeah, that's the other one I forgot. I got that one too.
With Shuri. That's the first appearance of her on the in the actual Black Panther suit when Black Panther left to fight Doom. So you got to have a protector for Wakanda, and that's when she took over.
Now, TC, tell everybody about she's in the movie.
Oh yeah, she is in the movie. She's the one with like the gauntlets when you see like the laser gauntlets that she made herself. Because I mean, she's a character that they put on par with Tony Stark as far as technology wise. So we're gonna see what she's gonna do. Hopefully, they're gonna do more with her character. Then I looked up and I picked up the Black Panther #1.
Oh,
Dubai, San Diego, or the Comic-Con in Dubai. Picked that up. Took me a while to get it.
Now tell them. Now where can you get that? Where would you get that comic from?
Dubai.
Wow.
Dubai! Wow.
That was it. They had a comic convention in Dubai, and that's the only place you could have got it at.
Wow.
That's a pretty rare book
And then
too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to find. I mean,
Bro, call me with the slab.
Finally got me a slab for what I've been trying to get. This is the Black Panther #1, Alex Ross.
Oh,
Nice.
Cover 9.4. It's going for about $150-$200. I got it for not even half of that. So it was a lucky late night watching the bid type thing, and that was it. But I'm really happy with both of them.
and you can't go wrong with Alex Ross, man. That dude does some phenomenal work.
Yeah, Alex Ross, man, that's a really hard variant to come by right there, man. Also, man, everybody, TC is officially in the slab committee, man.
Got to show one of my favorites here, man, from last week.
What's that, man? What you got?
Oh, Deadpool.
The trading card Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's a Tim Lee too.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he drew him like 3 times.
I actually got one other one, man. I just picked this one up, man. And for those who are collecting, you can go out and grab these for
The Man Without Fear.
Yeah, get you the Daredevil and the old Punishers when they fight. Those are pretty easy to come by, and they're worth the opinion depending on where you pick them up from. So,
What you holding up? It's Marvel.
A comic for everybody to look out for, man, is I know. I believe with Matt, he announced it, that Danny Coach, same dude who did the God Country and Redneck and all, he's going to be taking over the writing for Doctor Strange now.
Oh,
So he's going to be doing the story for it. He announced it on his Twitter page himself, but he's going to be doing the story now for Doctor Strange. Animosity.
Yeah, crazy, man.
that's a good book, man. For real, Animosity is a really good book.
well, everybody, that is our comment haul for this week. We want to tell everybody special thanks for those who are still locked in. We had a couple of people tonight who has been with us ever since the show came on. We want to tell you thank you for watching tonight. We want to say thank you for checking us out. We want to say thank you for subscribing. We want to say thank you for supporting us. You know, this is something we all do for free, and we just enjoy talking comics, having a good time. We've built great friendships through this. We've met great friends. Want to give a shout out to Will at Comics Plus for making Al's dream come true. Xavier, everybody in the crew. Want to say thank you for everybody who has made this possible. I want to tell everybody on the panel thank you for taking that time to do this on it used to be on Wednesday nights when we first started. And we moved to Thursday. We used to do it every Wednesday
and weekly.
Yeah, and weekly. And now we're down to once a month. That's just because we all got lives, people getting married and stuff like that.
Tony,
but,
easy.
No.
You get married or whatever.
But we want to tell everybody thank you, man, from the bottom of our hearts. And we look forward to more years, man. We look forward to more years. Now, when we return, we'll return with our top 10 that we've had on hold for the last 2 months, which is the top 10 gangster movies of all time. And we will also discuss further news coming out of Comic-Con, and we will probably be discussing whatever footage and what info that we have on the Defenders. And we'll also talk Infinity War. So make sure that you check us out. TC, any words before we close on this 1 year celebration?
You know what, man? Just sit back and enjoy the shows that's coming. That's all I got to say.
All right, Al?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all the real truth, man. It's been a pleasure and an honor to actually do this show. To be quite frank with you, man, I look forward in doing the show. It's something that I love to do. We get along very well, and like you said, it's actually forged friendships. I know you, I, and Larry have gotten together a couple of times and broke bread, checked out comics and everything, trying to get X and TC in the mix as well. But I know y'all brothers hard working. You got to pay your taxes and your rent and everything. I understand. I'm not throwing off. I'm being real. But yeah, it's actually, it's a pleasure. And I hope that everyone that watches the show enjoys it just as much as we do. We don't do it for free, but generally when you do something you love, you ain't really worried about no money anyway. And, so I thank y'all. Y'all are some of the greatest, and I hope that we continue to keep moving forward. And we can continue to build and grow, and all of us one day will have those holy grails that we're looking for. And we can sit back and relax and put them on the shelf and said, I bought that. That's all. I'm done.
Larry?
Man, I was walking out of Comic Plus when it was on, was that North Side, Matt?
Yeah.
And I saw Matt going in. And Matt was like, man, you what you doing? Come out here. He said, you collect? I said, yeah, man, I've been collecting for a long time, man. And, next thing I know, he was telling me about what you guys were doing here. And I appreciate you guys having me on. Look, since I came late, I want to say I'm your special feature guest.
A voice of reason.
Right. So, man, it's good, man, talking to other people that share what you share. I knew Tony from years ago at EV, before EV, Electronics Boutique.
Yeah.
Comedy all day long. Look, why did Tony? Shout out to Covert. And of course, Al, I met him years ago. Known X for years from school. Known Matt from school. So, I mean, it's just a blast getting to talk with you guys, man, about everything. And disagree with you guys on most of everything. Just have fun.
All right, X.
Man, I want to thank the viewers first and foremost, but I want to thank y'all because I know all of us are gamers, and we all have that in common with one another. But I never thought that all of us were into comics like we were or are. And this right here, man, knowing that my friends that I've known for years, some for decades, you know what I mean? Just seeing that we all have all these different things in common, and we're completely different people, but the same people at the same time, man. That's heartwarming, you know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all. And hey, man, I look forward to keep this going. I hope we can do this until the end of time. You know what I mean? So I thank y'all. I thank y'all. I thank y'all.
It's still real, damn it. With that, everybody, once again, we want to tell you thank you, and thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with a friend. Make sure you comment. Tell us what we can work on. What you would like to see. Also, working on trying to get a new member. We met Al introduced me to a friend of his who is a collector, and we're trying to get him on. We're going to possibly be bringing him in on the next show. So, what is this? What is this, Al? What is this? Dun, 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 dun.
Yay.
The Al team. Well, with that, everybody, we'll tell everybody thank you once again. We appreciate it. Thanks for helping us make it 1 year. We will catch you all next. We will catch y'all in August as we return with the comment hall and round table discussion. Everybody, for Antonio Coleman, Al Rainey, Larry Carker, Xavier Randall, Vince Boogie, Weldon DeRamus, who is in parts unknown.
The Ultimate Warrior.
No, I mean he is on. I'm talking.
He on Namek.
He's on Z-Man level.
Hyperbolic time chamber. He trained in the fight.
He's on Tom Zink level. We don't know where he is. Z-Man. So for everybody, Xavier Randall, everybody on the panel, we want to tell you all thank you. Have a blessed night, and we will see you all in August.